Good evening. We're going to call the November 20th, 2025 Harahan City Council meeting to order. Madam Clerk, pledge, please.
Please stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilman Asbill.
Present.
Councilman Buddy.
Present.
Councilman Chatelain.
Present.
Councilman Johnston.
Present.
Councilman Ricks.
Present.
Mayor Baudier.
Present.
Police Chief Laprie.
Present.
Fire Chief St. Cyr absent. Finance Director Todd Turnion. City Attorney Scott Stansberry. Myself, Carrie Hustis, Clerk, is present. Mayor's announcements.
I'm going to yield my mayor's announcements time to the police chief so he can do his report.
Okay.
Point of personal privilege. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate it. I had another function that I have to attend here in a little bit, so I appreciate you letting me come up. First of all, I want to say that Halloween night, we had a great turnout up in Imperial Woods area. Harahan Oaks had a very nice turnout for their Halloween celebrations. It was a good turnout. We want to thank the Orleans Jefferson Levy District, the Constable's Office, Jonathan Liberto and Jason Ural, our Harahan Reserve Division, and our Lieutenant Mark Jovanovich put a lot of work in to get that done. All those other agencies come in and helped us, which was a big help because we just didn't have enough officers to secure the whole area. But overall, it was a safe night. We only had a handful of parents get lost from their kids, and we had a couple of medical issues, but other than that, it went off very well. It was a beautiful night. Next year is on a Saturday, so let's hope for good weather there. Second of all, I want to encourage everyone to download the Harahan Police Department app. If you're going to be leaving town for Thanksgiving holidays, if you would, and you would like, notify us through the app or call the Harahan Police Department and put a patrol request in on your house, and we'll keep an eye on your house while you're out of town celebrating with your family and friends. The Christmas parade coming up will be December 13th, starting at noon. It's going to do the traditional route from Horde Street to Folse, disbanding in the Winn-Dixie parking lot. If your organization or group would like to be part of the parade, contact Kathleen Lewis, my secretary, 504-737-4800, and she'll have all the information that's required to be a part of the parade. The parade keeps growing bigger and bigger every year, and we're trying to let as many folks in as we can, but last year, some of the complaints I was getting, the parade was kind of long, but we don't want to tell anybody no. So if you'd like to be part of the parade, call Kathleen. We will be hosting the toy run, the police department toy run, with one of our citizens from Harahan. He's a gracious person. He doesn't want anybody to know who he is, but he's already probably purchased over $5,000–6,000 worth of toys for the children. So if you know a needy child that may benefit from getting a gift from Santa, call Kathleen again at my office, give her that information. We want to try to get the kids that need something that are less fortunate, so we can help them out and have a good Christmas for them also. I want to thank all the council members for meeting with me. We've been talking about the budget, going over the Harahan Police Department budget, and I appreciate their times coming in, sitting down, looking at it. I know there's going to be some give and take on it, but if we want to stay safe in the city of Harahan, we have to pay for the police department. It's a crucial function. We're the safest city in the state. So I appreciate y'all coming in, visiting with me. I encourage any of the public that would like to see the Harahan Police Department budget, you're more than welcome to contact us. I'll be happy to show you our budget, what we're asking and what we're looking to do. Let's see. So there is, from what I understand, there will be a budget hearing meeting on December 11th. I would encourage the public to come out and listen and see where the money goes and who's benefiting, who's getting it, and where your taxpayer money's going. You need to look at your tax bills and understand where all the taxes go and what you're paying for. And last but not least, I want to wish everybody a safe, happy, and blessed Thanksgiving holiday season. If you're traveling, be safe on the roads, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Oh, I'm sorry about the statistics. I'm sorry. We had 691 calls for service last month. We had 9 accidents. We issued 159 citations. We had 10 patrol requests that came in on the Harahan Police Department app, requesting patrols on their property while they were out of town. We had 125 pass-bys. We had 1,395 business checks. We did 206 traffic enforcements. We had 76 medical calls throughout the city of Harahan. We had 35 residential alarms go off. And off of our flock system, we had 1 stolen license plate and 1 stolen vehicle that hit on the license plate reader in the city of Harahan. We had a total of 77 charges with 50 arrests, 19 felonies, 41 misdemeanors, and 17 city. We had 37 fugitive attachments, 10 traffic attachments, 10 narcotic arrests, and 20 others. On that fugitive number, that 37, we are in the process of getting ready to open the jail back up. We're not just going to be issuing warning tickets to show up at your next court date. If you get stopped and you have an attachment on you, you will be put in jail. You will go to the Harahan lockup. People aren't showing up for their court dates, so when we catch you, we're going to put you in jail and make sure you show up at the court. We had property crimes, personal crimes. We had 10 assaults, 1 residential burglary, 1 non-residential burglary of business, 1 attempted burglary, 1 vehicle burglary. We had 5 thefts, shoplifting. We had 3 identity thefts, and we had 3 access fraud devices that were recovered off of gas pumps and all. When you go fill up your gas cans and gas at the gas station, you want to make sure that there's no false device on the pump that you might be being scammed. But other than that, I appreciate it. I wish everybody a happy and Merry Thanksgiving, and we'll wish everybody Merry Christmas next month.
Thank you.
But I thank y'all. Anybody have questions?
No, we're good. Thank you, Chief.
I appreciate it. Sorry I'm
Good night.
having to
Yes,
run
sir.
out.
No,
Thank you, sir.
All right, moving on, special presentations. Special presentation number 1, Serge Villanova with the Harahan Music Festival.
Hi everyone, Serge Villanova. Great to see everyone again. Wanted to come out and formally invite everyone in the room to the 5th Annual Harahan Music Festival and Food Drive, happening December 6th at the St. Rita School, starting at noon. It'll be a free music festival to benefit the St. Rita Food Pantry. We started this event in 2021 under Mayor Baudier's administration to bring people back together post-COVID where they truly belong. I've had hands-on assistance from literally everyone on the council to create the event and to build it and to have it flourish. Jason was out with the first 2 years moving barricades. You remember that? But it's been a real great thing to be a part of, and I'm very thankful for being a part of the Harahan community and paving my way into that. But let me show you and stop telling you. Please come out December 6th for some of Louisiana's finest musicians, including myself. It's a small promo. If you forget to bring some food this year, do bring $5 for admission. We'll have some great vendors. I believe Tab and his wife at the VFW are going to help us procure some awesome vendors. Really a community effort, and it's been amazing to be a part of it one more time. And I really want to thank, again, everyone on the council. Mayor Baudier, thank you all for allowing us to do this in 2021 during those interesting times. And please come on out. Again, since we started in 2021, we've raised over 12,000 items of food for the St. Rita Food Pantry. We've had a small hand in revitalizing Zerang Park. We've assisted the Harahan VFW in obtaining a brand new John Deere riding lawnmower through Home Depot, which is now being used to assist local elderly and disabled veterans with lawn care. We've assisted the local Kingfish Boxing Camp in producing the first boxing tournament in the city of Harahan since Katrina, and all this using music as the foundation. Hope to see y'all there December 6th at noon at the St. Rita School. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Special presentation number 2, Compassionate Friends.
Thank you. Hello. Hello. It's my first time here. We'd like to thank the Harahan Council for inviting us to come tell you about the Compassionate Friends. I'm Millie Hunton.
I'm William Hunton, and we're
Here.
Chelsea's parents.
So, it's going to take me a little bit. We're here to talk to you about the Compassionate Friends. But first, we'd like to tell you a little bit about our beautiful daughter, Chelsea. She was born in England, raised in Germany and Canada. William was stationed in the U.S. Air Force. Chelsea was an adventurous young lady, full of life. No one was a stranger to her. She had the gleaming personality that attracted everyone. She was such a happy young girl. Chelsea had suffered with scoliosis and carpal tunnel. So we guess she was talked into buying something off the streets that would help her pain. Not knowingly what she got was 100% fentanyl. That was a word we had never heard before October 17th, 2016. Fentanyl ended our daughter's life instantly at the age of 30. See, she had so much more life ahead of her. The impact of Chelsea's death was devastating to both William and I. My days and nights were spent longing for my child's hugs, kisses. Mom, I love you. Her scent was on all her belongings. I dreadfully missed those mom and daughter evenings. William started to worry about me and my well-being, so we suggested to go to counseling. William began worrying so much that we started counseling. The counselor was pleasant. We talked. She hugged. We cried. But we just didn't connect. We just didn't connect. How could this person understand what we were going through without having experienced of losing a child? We finished the sessions and knew there must have been something else out there, for we as parents needed more. After the sessions were done, I told William I wanted to attend a candlelight ceremony. We heard about it in honor of children who have passed away too soon. We were told it was potluck. Bring your child's favorite dish. And that's what I did. The event touched us deeply. I met other parents there, which I knew who had lost their child as well. In actuality, we had something in common with every parent there, and the connection was felt immediately. We mingled with our parents, sharing stories and sharing tears. Then once the meal had concluded, we walked through a candlelight pathway, and all of this is at Lafreniere Park. The chapter had taken the time to lay tea candles all along the pathway to their very own children's memorial garden. We were all given candles and seen the most beautiful presentation in how important it was to remember these children who had passed away too soon. The main candles were lit, and then the flames were transferred to everyone else until all the candles were lit. It was as if the ceremony was composed just for what we needed. As heart-wrenching as it was still one of the most touching ceremonies I had ever been to.
Then after the candle lighting, the Greater New Orleans chapter had their monthly meeting just the next night. It was an evening of sharing time, stories, and tears with other bereaved parents. Millie and I truly felt this was where we needed to be. A year after that, the chapter leader had to step down for personal reasons. It had been nearly 2 years since we lost Chelsea, and then Denise asked us if we would take over as chapter leaders of the Greater New Orleans chapter.
At first, I said I could not deal with my own daughter's grief, and then to help others with their grief as well. But William said we could do this together. And he said he would never let me take more than what I could handle. And look where we at now, 6 years later, leading the chapter. Being part of the Compassionate Friends has meant a lot to both William and I. As members, we immediately felt the connection with other parents and shared that common bond of emptiness. At first, we just kept volunteering and doing little odd jobs around the chapter. We started finding out some comfort in the little things we could do, knowing we were doing these things in memory of our daughter, Chelsea, with helping others along their grief journey.
We have so many people in our chapter who are looking for something to help them on their journey of grief, who came together for a common cause in this unique organization. We have had people who said, I can do this little job, I can do this little task, and do it passionately, knowing that they're doing it in memory of their child, grandchild, or sibling. It actually becomes a form of therapy where their job is as little or as big, it's their job, and they can say, I'm doing this for you.
This organization is not for everyone, but for those that it touches deeply. We have met some great people that you enjoy being with because you know you can share the memories, share the love, and share the tears. You will never be judged, and you will never be told, gee, you haven't gotten over the death of your child yet.
As past chapter leader said to us once, this is an organization that I would never want to be part of, but being here now is the best place I could possibly be with the greatest people in the world. It's actually started in England back in the 60s. It's now in over 30 different countries, and we have over 600 chapters here in the U.S. We conduct monthly newsletters, and we have monthly meetings here at Lafreniere Park. We also have 3 events a year. In April, we have a butterfly release, 400 live butterflies. September, we do a memorial walk and auction. In December, we do a worldwide candle lighting. Our next meeting is December 8th, which is the second Monday of the month, and the next weekend after that, December 14th, we'll have our worldwide candle lighting. It is open to the public. If you lost a child, grandchild, or sibling, we're more than welcome to have you attend.
So may we close in saying what we do for this organization, we do to help others in their journey of grief. And we do it for you, Chelsea. I love you, my sweet Chelsea.
And I love you too, dear.
The chapter, we meet at Lafreniere Park in the foundation room. Family and friends are always invited to come. We have coffee, we have cake. There is a lot crying, but we're there to talk about our children. You know, don't come over and vent about what happened and all. We're there to keep their memories just continuously going, because there are people out there that say, you're not over the grief yet. I'll never. It's 9 years now my daughter's gone, and I remember yesterday when it happened. So it never goes away, never. Thank you.
We brought some brochures. We've left them in the foyer. Please grab some on your way out. Even if you haven't lost someone, you're going to meet someone who's lost a child, grandchild, or sibling, and let them know about what we do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
What time is the meeting for? You said that.
7 p.m. in the Foundation Center. It's always the second Monday of the month.
Thank you for having us,
Thank
and
you.
I'm not sorry that I do get upset. It's the love I had for our daughter.
No.
Thank you.
Understand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes, reading of the,
Excuse me, can we take a 5-minute recess, please?
Yeah.
Move for a 5-minute recess.
I have a second by Councilman Chatelain, motion by Councilman Asbill, 5-minute recess. Meeting back to order, Madam Clerk.
approval of minutes, reading of the minutes of the council meeting on October 16th, 2025.
I have a motion by Councilman Ricks, second by Councilman Chatelain, to dispense with the reading of the minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, Madam Clerk.
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on October 16th, 2025.
I have a motion by Councilman Buddy, second by Councilman Asbill, to approve those minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, Madam Clerk.
Reading of the minutes of the council meeting on November 3rd, 2025.
I have a motion by Councilman Johnson, second by Councilman Ricks, to dispense with the reading of the minutes. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, Madam Clerk.
Approval of the minutes of the council meeting on November 3rd,
I have a
2025.
Motion to approve those minutes by Councilman Ricks, second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor?
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, Madam Clerk.
Communications, we have none. Resolutions, proposed resolution number 2025-18. The following resolution was offered by Councilman Chatelain. A resolution to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement between the City of Harahan and the Parish of Jefferson for the fiscal years 2027 to 2029 to undertake essential community development and housing assistance within the City of Harahan jurisdiction.
Okay, we'll open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak on proposed resolution 2025-18? No one coming forward. Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
You first,
Yeah,
Council.
so I know this is something we've done in the past. I think this is the first time I recall receiving a letter from the Department of Community Development from Jefferson Parish. I do have questions that I'd like to call the department about, and we have until February 26th to either opt out or opt in. So I would ask that we defer this, and one of the things that I'm concerned about is that if a city, it says in the second to last paragraph on the page, first page of the letter, if a city or town elects to opt out of the urban county program, it may apply for state of Louisiana competitive small cities CDBG money. If the city or town is included, we cannot apply for those grants. However, if we're in part of the parish's program, there's no guarantee that any of the grant funds would be spent within Harahan. So I'd like to get some information on how much money has been spent in Harahan in the past, and if there has been any funds that have been granted to Harahan area, and if there hasn't, then what's the harm in opting out and going to chase the money ourselves?
Right.
So I'd like to defer this and have some time to get that information if we can.
All right, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to
But
defer.
wait for, I think
Well,
Mr. Buddy has
I mean,
some
we can,
discussion.
we can vote on that motion. I do have a question.
Okay.
But I'll go now. We're not aware that the city has gotten any benefit from this in the past. A little concerning to me, and we don't have a copy of the cooperative endeavor agreement. I don't know what commitments the city's making under that agreement. And at the very least, we ought to get it and review it to make sure that there's nothing in there that we would think would be a reason to vote against participating. Do we have a copy of the agreement?
I think all we have is a copy of the
Just
previous
the
agreement.
letter? Yeah,
I
so,
think, well, the previous agreement is in here, and they're saying to just adopt the same one with updated dates.
yeah, well, I haven't seen the previous one, and I don't believe we've got a copy of it in the package, do we?
Yeah.
Oh, we do? I'm
Yes, sir.
sorry.
It's the page
Yeah.
following the letter.
I read the letter and didn't read the agreement. All right, well, I'll review it in the interim, and if we vote to defer it, I'll have an opportunity to,
Sure.
ask questions or address it.
Yep. I move to defer.
Second?
I have a motion by Councilman Asbill to defer. We have a second by Councilman Buddy. We'll open for public hearing on a deferral. No one coming forth. We'll close public hearing. All in favor?
You want to talk about this?
Well, I live over there at 1608 Hickory, we complain about the same thing all the time. It's because the man next door, he built that big
No,
building.
you can't talk
Wait.
about that right now.
No, it's
It's
not.
got to
can't?
be about
Gotta
this.
be a vote.
Sorry.
Move to defer.
There's an address to the council at the end of the meeting that you
And
can
then you can
address it on
address
any topic. So you'll have an opportunity to speak, ma'am, but
Well, I will, believe.
that's fine. During the meeting, we address the issue in front of us.
I'm sorry.
That's quite all right.
All right, motion to, all right, all in favor on the deferral?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays, Madam Clerk.
Ordinances for approval. Proposed ordinance 2025-9. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill and seconded by Councilman Chatelain. An ordinance amending ordinance number 2018, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025 for the city of Harahan, Louisiana.
Okay, we'll open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak on proposed ordinance number 2025-9? That was deferred at the 7/17/25 council meeting. Please come to the podium. No one coming forth will close public hearing. Council discussion?
Yeah, council, I've actually got some proposed amendments to make. And I've had the amendments that it concern, or the pages of the budget that it concerned printed out. As we know, we're anticipated, I would like to try to fix it, but we're anticipated to have a deficit of about 230,000 at the end of the year. And I noticed a discrepancy in a couple of departments, and I'd like to try to address one of them now, which is the biggest one in the senior center department, is that one of the discrepancies I'm seeing is that although, you know, we budgeted at the beginning of the year for this department to spend $138,000, that's when they had employees there, they don't. And you'll see that on line 582. The original budget was $138,540. The projected through December 31st is about $40,000, which is on par with what with what we should be spending according to the contract with Harahan Senior Center. And so I'd like to make some adjustments to start bringing down that deficit number, because there's no way this department should be spending $138,000 by the end of the year.
Because we don't have those salaries since.
Because we don't have those salaries, we don't have some,
Since when? When did we,
Yeah.
yeah, since February, I think, yeah.
February?
So to be more accurate, I mean, I understand where you're going, Councilman. We have spent some money before the agreement was
Yes.
executed.
Yes. Yes.
Correct? So the $40,000 per year would seem to run with the agreement.
Correct.
Right, the
So
budget.
instead of limiting it 40, it might be 52 for the current year.
No, it's gonna be more than that.
So,
They spent $27,000 in the first
no, sir.
3 months. Yeah, they did. They had
That's right, we
salaries
did.
and
No, you're
everything.
right, we did.
Yeah, no.
But we received that back from,
From where?
from JCOA.
Well, okay, but you can't take it away from their budget. You received it back, but you took it out of their budget. You might have received it back,
Okay, so
but you
my,
can't take it out their budget.
so my amendments, what they do is reduce the line items to what the actuals are through the middle of the year. And it's about a $90,000.
What is the actual through the middle of the year?
reduction.
I-
Oh,
I don't
okay,
have
yeah.
it in front
So
of
I've
me.
got specific line items, so if we want to go through those,
No, if you would, just in total, get my arms around it, for the senior center, you're proposing to take it through the actual,
that's on this, it's in
as
column,
as projected.
no,
Can I
no,
just,
no, the actual.
can I simplify this for 1 second? So we have $138,000 budgeted. We didn't spend it on 2 employee salaries. We're not taking anything from the senior center other than we did not spend the money on salaries. Is that
Correct.
correct? So
That
we
is
didn't take any
correct.
money away from the senior center. We just don't have the 2 employees because now they run the senior center.
But don't we have an obligation to spend up to $40,000 on the senior center per the agreement? That's a question.
And
So
we-
that would, should
we
be,
have
if it
that.
hasn't been spent, it should be budgeted.
And I'm not touching anything that we would be responsible for according to the agreement.
This is just employee
This is
salaries.
just employee salaries and
Because they-
janitorial supplies
Thank you.
and whatnot.
Thank you for the
Because they're
clarification.
running the
So
senior
there's
center.
another place in here, or will be in here for the 40,000 the city has committed to
Correct.
expend.
At some
Thank
point,
you.
yes.
We're
yes.
not taking anything away from the senior
Thank you.
center.
I didn't realize we weren't talking a global
What do
number.
you want to reduce the senior center budget to?
So I want to reduce line 010-4-117-49,000,
Which line is that, sir, on the
Can't do that.
budget?
570.
We didn't spend the money, Paul.
They get paid salaries and everything to these people for the first
Just to
2.5 months of the
February,
year.
I want to reduce it to 10,428, which is what was spent on salaries through the 2 months of the year.
What page are you on?
I'm on line 570.
What page, 570?
Well, you've got a two-sheet here, Paul, that just pointed out to me.
Just the senior center.
All this is doing is bringing down the reflected, anticipated, what is this? The 2025, the
expenditures.
anticipated,
Budget?
Salary. It's not there.
no, deficit.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all this is doing, is bringing down the anticipated deficit for 2025.
Yeah.
So on that line item, while Councilman Johnson's getting up to speed on it, you're proposing a downward adjustment of the expenditures for that line item of $60,000?
All right,
Yes.
Okay. Give Councilman Johnson an opportunity to.
miscellaneous revenues, $1,094.
No, sir, I'm on salaries.
What is that?
I'm on
I
salaries.
know, but what you, are you doing just the salaries?
I'm doing just salaries and janitorial supplies. That's all
What
I'm
about
doing.
everything else that they were charged? They didn't have anything, this new group don't have anything to do with that.
They haven't been charged anything.
But it's been taken out of their budget. You got through June of '25, they were charged $1,094.
Okay.
Miscellaneous revenue, JPC Senior Center,
That's
$985.
That's
What
revenue.
is that?
That's revenue.
Revenue.
Okay. All right, forms and stationery, $183. Office supplies, $424. Computer supplies, $2,081. They have nothing to do with that. Telephones,
That's why-
communications,
That's why we spent the money on it. They had nothing to do, that's why
But
we
you're
spent
taking you're taking that in their budget.
No.
They still gonna have their $40,000 that's in the contract.
The contract says the city's gonna spend up to $40,000 for certain things. We're still gonna do that.
Paul, look at line 570 on the left-hand side, that you see those numbers for each row.
Right, $10,428.
Yeah, the discussion right now is limited to line 570 only at the moment,
We're
correct?
gonna I would like to amend the budget down to that number, which is what we've actually spent, and we won't spend any more this year.
And
You
Todd,
want
that's,
to amend it to 48,000?
No, I wanna amend it to 10,428.
which is a downward reduction of
That is what
60.
Mr. Paul, that is what we actually spent this year, and we won't spend any more
On salaries.
on salary.
Oh, and
Just
salaries.
salaries.
Oh, okay.
Just
I thought you
salary.
were talking about the budget.
No, no.
No.
Just that line.
Oh, okay.
Line
All right.
570.
Okay.
Just the salary.
Okay, all right. Just the salary. I got you. Understand.
So that frees up 60,000.
So Councilman, just if I'm reading this correctly, that would be, for that line item, you'd be reducing the budget by the 60,000.
About 60,000,
Okay,
yes, sir.
got that.
Okay.
I think it might be column, Todd, is it column L? The net,
When you said 138, you said you were reducing the budget to 48,000. You confused me on that. You said you were reducing the budget to 48,000
Overall, yes.
overall. So
Yes.
you reduced to 48,000.
We've got, yes, I'm working through these line items. Overall, it's gonna be reduced to about 48.
You said about 40, but you reduced it to 48. Not, you reduced it
I'm
by
not-
48,000?
No,
It's
Or
gonna
you
be
reduced it
two.
to 48,000?
To about,
Two
down to
You're saying
48.
about, you're going to reduce it to
It's not gonna be exactly
48,000?
48.
it's not gonna be exactly 40, it might be $48,326.
That'd be good, as long as it's over 48.
Yes.
As long as it's better than 40. That's
Better
good.
than
It's
40.
gonna
That's
be more
good.
than 40.
That's good.
Okay,
Okay.
let's get there. Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's line 570.
So that one, okay.
Ah, goodness, give me a second, guys, sorry, might be too.
Oh, we're going to go to the, now we got the salaries out of the way.
He's gonna go to each line item.
We're going to go to the forms, the computer stuff they had nothing to do with. and
Each
all.
line item he's gonna go through.
Okay.
Line 010-4-117-42800, which is, give me a second here. Line 563.
Wait, 563?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
560.
Okay,
Janitorial.
thank you.
Janitorial supplies and service.
Janitorial supplies and services, the budgeted amount is 15,200.
Right.
I'm looking to reduce it down to the 1,202, which is about a $13,000 reduction. And the reason for that is that we have spent janitorial supplies already, but according to the agreement that was signed, that's not one of the responsibilities.
That's not their responsibility.
That's their responsibility.
That's not their responsibility.
Yes, it is.
In the
It says in
agreement it is.
Not in the beginning, that was spent,
But that's
No,
what.
no, no. That's why we've taken out, that's why it's only,
they took over in the middle of March.
so we're paying for the beginning, and we're
Paying-
taking out the differences.
We're paying for everything spent year-to-date,
Yes.
which is through September.
Right.
In this item. So it would cover
Before they
the-
took over.
Before they took over. And maybe some money after.
Well, when we come to the end, I'll let you, okay, go ahead.
We spent $1,202.
Right.
We have budgeted 13,000.
We had budgeted
Through June.
13,000.
Through June, so
Correct.
they're not responsible for January, February, so we're
We're
gonna
not
go
saying
through
they're
June.
We paid for that
We're
already.
Okay.
We paid it.
The city is assuming
So
it.
there's an excess of $12,000,
Okay.
of $13,000.
I'm just saying, when you do the $48,000 budget, I don't want you to take that 1202.
We know.
Okay,
We know.
okay. All right, that's good.
Line 010-4-117-52500.
Which line item is that?
574.
Line 574, Medicare match. We're reducing it to $46, which is a savings of about $8,800. We won't have any more Medicare match this year. Line 010-4-117-52,000, which is life insurance. Nope,
That's Medicare.
I'm sorry.
Medicare match?
Medicare match, we just did that one. What did I just do over here? Oh, I'm sorry, one of these is FICA.
Line 572.
51100.
No, I didn't do 51100 because
No, that's the one we need to do.
That's the-
I'm not worried about it.
Okay.
FICA match.
Thank you. Yeah.
The FICA match on the salaries would be reduced by 3,100.
Yes. Reducing it down to $7,900, or $791.
Right.
And then line 010-4-117-45300,
Where's that?
Grass cutting,
which is grass,
What's the line item on the,
565.
thank you.
I'm sorry, it should be 44,700,
44,700.
which is building repairs and maintenance.
Okay.
Reducing it down,
564.
Where's that at? Bill?
Line 564.
line 564,
564.
reducing it down to $4,000. That is leaving us some building repair money to spend through the end of the year,
So you're reducing that line item by 4,000.
So,
to 4,000.
yeah, we've spent
To
$2,857.
So
We got
it'll
a
leave us
projected
4,000,
gross
6,000.
of 4,000,
Which is about a $6,000.
$6,000
So
in total.
the building is the city's, and we have a group running the center, and we're gonna make them pay for repairs of the building.
No,
We've paid,
Out of their
keeping-
budget.
we've
we're
paid
keeping some money.
$2,857.
Just keeping,
We're leaving some money for the $4,000, up to another $1,300 for the
So
end of the
that's
year.
gonna come out of
City's
It's not-
budget.
It's
the
coming out of
city.
the city budget.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right.
that's what I got.
Perfect.
And what's your total on that leaves the senior center with?
78, 81. It's about a $90,000,
What's in the bottom line down
that's
there.
approximately a $90,000
Yes, it's
reduction,
approximately a $90,000 reduction.
give or take some pennies.
Yes.
Okay. You get a $48,000 budget. That's good.
Okay, so I'm gonna take those amendments read into record by Councilman Asbill and try not even to attempt to repeat that. And so we have a motion by Councilman Asbill, we have a second by Councilman Chatelain to amend the senior center budget as stated into record. All in favor?
Oh, give me a second, I'm sorry. So you got to open for public hearing, but I would say the amendment is that new section 3 is added to say the attached budget is amended as follows with each of those line items. The remainder of the budget is deferred.
Now, this is,
We,
I'm sorry.
go ahead, sir. We did this previously, we amended a line item.
On section 2, yes. It's listed
Okay.
as section 2 there.
All right. So now we're just changing section 3.
We're adding a section 3 to include these amendments, and again, deferring the rest of the budget.
So, I'm sorry, currently section 3 in this proposed
Yeah, we're just
ordinance.
adding a new section 3 and renumbering, yes, sir.
All right, public, anyone
The,
opening?
the section that's there is going to remain. The wording that's there is going to remain, you're going to add an additional clause.
Yes,
The clause about the remaining part of the budget is unamended.
yes.
Okay.
But in section 2, it says increase by 100,000.
That was for the play system over at Royland.
Oh, that was for the place.
Yes, sir, we did that one already.
All right, so anyone want to speak on the amendments to proposed ordinance 2025-9, please come to the podium. No one coming to the podium, we'll close public hearing. Now we're going to vote on only the amendments, correct?
Correct.
So we're going to vote on proposed ordinance 2025-9 to amend.
Wait.
All in
Hold on,
favor?
wait,
Ask your
hold on,
question.
wait,
Yeah, no, let him ask the
wait,
question,
wait.
yep.
Okay, I'm looking at ordinance 2025A, 9. All right, section 2, line item 341-4-116-40920, increased by 100,000. That's for the playground equipment.
That was for the capital
That
fund.
was the 100,000 we gave for that. Then we switched over to the senior center. So what are we voting on right now?
We're voting on the senior center. The
All right,
other,
how did we skip off this?
no, this was already passed, and it's carrying over as the the rest of it has been deferred. The section 2 was already passed, which is why we're not touching
Okay, so
it.
we passed this.
We passed that.
When did we pass this? Last meeting?
What,
Might have been the
August?
one before,
I want to
yeah.
say August
So
or
we-
September.
I remember we passed $100,000, so that's, so now we're going, using this ordinance, we go into section 3?
Yes. We're adding a new section 3.
The whole thing's the budget ordinance.
City attorney, we can do it this way? I mean, we passed this section 2 for $100,000, then we're going to grab another section, we're going to amend the budget, section 3 with no numbers in it. We're going to go and amend the senior center budget and change numbers, and we're going to add numbers. I mean, this is very confusing.
It may be confusing, but if you vote on it,
You can do it, though? Okay,
as long as,
okay,
you know,
okay.
understand what's going on.
Well, yeah, I understand it now when they explain it to me.
It'll be a little
I'm not a lawyer, I mean, but, I mean, I'm gonna ask questions. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, okay,
So-
okay,
So Paul, at
I'm
the
gonna ask
next
questions.
meeting, when we have the budget hearing,
yeah.
it'll all clear out.
I never, okay. I just think this is very confusing. We should introduce another ordinance to do the senior center thing, which is section 3. You're doing it this
But
way.
it's gotta tie back to the original budget ordinance, correct?
Yeah, you can do it, but you can do another ordinance and go with the budget ending in December 31st, 2025, city, and do another section, but everybody else happy with this? I'm not, but I'm not gonna vote against it, because I'm not gonna vote against the senior center.
We already
but
passed section 2.
I understand that, Mike, but this
discussing
is a
section
different thing
3.
totally. But
We're
go ahead.
and
I'm
We're
sorry.
handling it.
If you want
I'm
to
not gonna
play it
confuse-
In the future, then you could do a separate one.
Yeah, well, that's what I think they should have done, but go ahead. I'm
I
not
mean,
gonna argue
You
with
can do
you.
a separate
I'm just-
ordinance, Paul?
It's very confusing, that's all.
Call for a vote.
Move to approve as amended.
Okay.
So we have a
Go
motion
ahead,
by
Mayor.
Councilman
Go ahead,
Asbill,
Mayor.
second by Councilman Chatelain, all in favor?
Okay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0, you said yea, your name, Ms. Paul?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
All right, 5
no.
yeas, 0 nays. All right, Madam Clerk,
Thank you.
Thank you.
As amended.
as amended, thank you, Councilman.
Proposed ordinance number 2025-15. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain and seconded by Councilman Asbill. An ordinance to sell property owned by the city of Harahan providing for the procedure to be utilized pursuant to the provisions of the Louisiana Revised Statute 334712 in sequence, which provides for the sale, exchange, or lease of property by a municipality.
Okay, anyone want to speak on proposed ordinance 2025-15 that was deferred at the 10/16/25 meeting? Please come to the podium, state your name and address, please.
This is 439 West.
This is 439 West.
Hi, my name's Michelle Laperouse. I'm co-owner of the property at 439 West Avenue. I'm going to read a letter that you all received before the meeting just because we want it recorded. Regarding the property, a portion of the former Bailey Street right-of-way located directly behind our property at 439 West Avenue, which is now Lot P1. As you may know, Bailey Street was partially constructed to the east of the property, but it was never opened, improved, or accepted beyond its present dead end. From that point, the platted but unbuilt section curves westward behind a series of existing homes, including ours, and ultimately was intended to connect with Wilson Street. The unbuilt tract behind our home now measures approximately 32 feet from the rear porch. It's never been improved, maintained, or accessible to the public. An entry can only occur through the adjoining private lots or through the dead-end terminus of Bailey Street, none of which provide lawful public access. In addition, the city's drainage infrastructure, including an underground canal and associated 10-foot servitude on each side of this canal, traverses this corridor and is a portion of the aforementioned 32 feet behind the structure of the house. Initially, we approached the city of Harahan regarding the land behind the house at 439 West Avenue. We had to decide if we were going to renovate the existing structure or build an addition to the existing structure. In order to facilitate the proposed improvement project, the land behind the house would have to be included in our lot. The city evaluated the property and our proposed improvements. Although the land in question had been fenced in and maintained by the property owners for over 30 years, we were told it did not qualify for adverse possession. However, after evaluation, the city contacted us and said it was determined that the solution was to give us the land and do an administrative re-subdivision of the property. This measure, we were told, would facilitate the improvements to the property that we wanted to do and rid the city of useless surplus land that could otherwise be earning annual tax remittance in perpetuity. We decided to proceed with this solution and move forward with building the addition as opposed to just renovating the existing house. We then paid for a re-subdivision survey and filed for the re-subdivision with the city, renaming the lot P1. This re-subdivision was signed by the city, dated March 14th, 2025, and then filed by the clerk of court in Jefferson Parish. Subsequently, we submitted plans drawn by the architect, and the city approved and issued building permits for the proposed improvement project. The approved plans were reviewed, stamped, and inspected by city officials, and the work was completed in good faith reliance on those approvals. The resulting improvements now extend the footprint of the house onto the area formerly designated as the undeveloped Bailey Street. The original residence was approximately 907 square feet, and the existing structure at that time was 1.5 feet off of the diagonal property line at its closest point. The approved addition with a rear porch extended that footprint of the house, increasing the total living area to approximately 1,570 square feet, plus an attached garage. So the footprint of the home now reduces the previous 41 feet behind the house to approximately 32 feet, and 10 feet of that is unbuildable drainage canal servitude. Once completed, the house was listed for sale, and shortly thereafter, we had a signed contract to purchase the property. However, at that point, the title company notified us that although the administrative re-subdivision was filed by the Harahan Clerk of Court with Jefferson Parish, the land was not transferred into our names, and in order to sell the house, the land has to be transferred to us. So accordingly, we respectfully request the city grant us a standard setback based on the measurements of the lot. The calculated standard setback equals 21 feet and 9 inches of rear setback, beginning from the furthest point of the structure at the roof line above the porch and extending toward the canal behind the house. Our architect, Larry Trumpatori, has reviewed the site and confirmed that based on the current setback and design requirements, the existing addition would meet all applicable rear yard setbacks if the city were to approve the requested revocation. This is standard and allows for sale of the property. Given these facts and recognizing that this tract is effectively landlocked, encumbered by drainage utilities, and devoid of independent economic use, we respectfully request that the city, number one, acknowledge and confirm that the former Bailey Street right-of-way behind 439 West Avenue and adjacent properties is non-developable public land. Number two, grant or record a standard setback based on the lot measurements of 21 feet and 9 inches of rear setback, beginning at the rear of the porch roof line to protect and legalize the existing structure at 439 West Avenue. This setback will allow for the sale of the property. Number three, retain a 10-foot drainage servitude adjoining the canal consistent with public works standards and designate this residential right-of-way to remain city-controlled for drainage access and recognized as non-buildable property. This allows 20 feet total, 10 feet on either side of the rear property line of P1 as non-buildable right-of-way. This proposed layout preserves the city's drainage rights, clarifies property boundaries, and formally documents the approvals previously relied upon by the homeowner. It also aligns with the current field conditions where adjacent properties on both sides appear to encroach similarly into the unbuilt Bailey Street corridor. Because this land is landlocked and cannot be accessed or utilized without crossing active drainage servitudes, it holds no standalone market value, and it should be treated as a surplus right-of-way remnant rather than a developable tract. I respectfully ask that the city finalize the undedication of the Bailey Street servitude and boundary clarification on that basis. The property is still under contract. It was originally scheduled for closing mid-September. The closing has thus far been postponed twice, along with another purchase, which is contingent upon the sale of this property, with closings that have also been postponed twice, pending the resolution of this matter. Thus, we would appreciate an expeditious resolution. Please advise us if the city attorney would prepare an act of revocation/servitude modification for council adoption. Thank you for your time, consideration, and assistance in resolving this matter in a way that protects public infrastructure and provides a clear, fair record for all affected homeowners. Basically, our property is in a hostage status right now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I said the property is in a hostage status right now. We can't sell it until this is resolved.
So I have a question for you, Scott. A revocable encroachment permit or license is not acceptable in an active sale in Louisiana? It may be a quick resolve, and I'd have to, I guess, get you to look into that.
What did you call it?
It's a revocable encroachment permit. You can't issue somebody an internal usufruct, but you can in Louisiana issue a revocable encroachment permit or license. Sometimes it's considered the right-of-way permit. But it may be something, it may be a solution to the problem. I don't know how it will affect a purchase.
Well, basically, we started with 41 feet behind the house. After the city basically suggested this was a solution, we went with their suggestion, paid for the survey, got the re-subdivision done. We thought it was a done deal. Much to our surprise, when we go to sell the property, we don't own the property. So now, we were permitted by the city and built our house on the land, which is not our land. It's
Right.
kind of a bad situation to be in.
It is.
You're not built on this
so-
proposed 41 feet.
The 41 feet is no longer 41 feet because we're on that property
Yeah,
now.
they're on the property.
We need a legal setback according to the architect's calculations. It's based on the size of the lot. He did all the calculations. 21 feet 9 inches is what we're requesting since we're now in this predicament to allow us to sell the property. What you do with the rest of the property is of no concern
So is
to
there
me.
a-
9 feet on the property?
Is there a survey that shows that?
I have a copy
Yes,
of.
Paul, they're 9 feet on the property.
I have a copy
I haven't
of
seen
the current drawing. You want to bring that, John?
There's,
We were 1.5 feet off the property line before we did the addition.
You
At
did?
one point, it's a diagonal line.
You added 10 feet, so you're 9 feet on
And-
the property.
So, and 10 feet of that 41 feet is servitude. No, bring the other one, please. So you can't build on that anyway. And we have to have a setbacks. Nobody can build within a normal standard setback of any home. So all we're asking for is the setback of 21 feet 9 inches. This is basically the existing home, the addition to which they have that this is the remaining.
I've never once seen a drawing with the new addition.
Right, I haven't seen that survey.
This was the original, 1.5 feet from the property line, and now we're back here. And so the portion of the house is on the property line.
Where,
It's on the
I'm
property.
sorry, I don't see a copy of that.
I mean,
Portion of the house
it's-
is on the property. You
It's
keep saying
on,
property
it's
line,
on
it's on
the
property.
city's land,
Like 9 feet's on the property.
a portion of it. I can only show you this drawing, which.
We don't have a survey that shows the actual property line with the
This-
house on the property.
This is the re-subdivision survey.
Property line would be on this drawing. Where would it be?
So I don't have the old property line here.
So what happens here,
On this.
it comes across on an angle, the whole porch is in it, and 3.5 feet of this corner's in it.
Because
It
this
goes
is the old,
across.
this is the old.
No, this is the
No,
new, this
that's
is the new house.
This is the old,
This is the
Where's the
old,
old corner of the house?
right there on the property line, you see it?
but I don't know where
Yes,
it's on there.
right
We
there.
don't have
It's
that.
about right here.
This was 41.
It's 9 feet roughly on the property.
So all
On the
this
third,
goes
the current
On the
On
Bailey
the city's
Street,
property.
city property.
It's 9 feet in the street,
Put 9
if the street went through.
I do.
On the drawing.
That's fine. So, all we're asking, since we kind of got in this situation,
I think the city put you
And-
in this situation.
yes, but we're here now. We have all this money invested in the property. We're stuck. For 3 months now, we can't sell the house till this gets worked out. And I know y'all have been working on it, and I appreciate that. All we legally need is a setback of 21 feet and 9 inches. What you do with the rest, I don't care. We just want to sell the house and get this over with.
well, so I think that from the standpoint of the city and the parish, this right-of-way or waterway, whatever it is in the rear of the property, it may be beneficial to approach this from a permit a little differently. And I'm kind of doing some reading on this as well. a revocable encroachment permit will allow us to keep you out of harm's way, if you would, in selling the property. And, you know, if at some point someone needed to access those public utilities.
As with any servitude,
Right,
that
they-
10-foot
It would still
is
maintain.
accessible.
Right. So, well, like I said, it may be a quicker fix with no out-of-pocket. But like I said, I think that that needs to be researched from the city attorney standpoint to let us know if that is something that we can in fact do. But I think in Louisiana, in reading this, in Louisiana, it's like driveways and, you know, right-of-ways and things to get into your property. They issue you that same kind of thing. So I think it may be a quick fix.
That
But-
would be amazing.
Yeah, we need to do a little research on it, and I would ask Scott to try and maybe approach it from that way.
The problem is, I believe y'all on a time crunch.
Well, the house is currently rented in the interim, but yes, because we have another purchase contingent on the sale of this property, which they've been very gracious in extending
And the
that.
problem is the guy purchasing the property, he's got a timeline because of his interest rates and everything else.
Exactly.
So that's why.
There's grant money that may fall through, so th-
That's the
this has been
timeline-
3
that's the
months.
timeline
It's
situation.
been 3 months already.
I know, but to sell city property, it takes a while. I mean, we just got the survey back, we just got the appraisal back. The original appraisal y'all had doesn't come with nowhere clear.
I didn't do
close
that. Actually,
appraisal
on the
we had.
buyer's side, they contacted Carrie Wheeler. I understand she used to be on the council. She actually reached out to a man named Cashman, John Cashman, who did the appraisal. I don't know the man. He's been in the business 30
Yeah.
years, I'm told. It came back as $10 because basically it's worthless. No one could actually buy it or do anything with it, and they'd have to trespass on private property to even walk on it. And 10 feet of it's servitude anyway. They can't do anything with it, so it's useless.
So the
So
problem with
then,
that
I know
comes
there
is-
was another appraisal done because it was not agreed with by some people, and the next one came back at $8,400. But now I'm being held hostage, and it's kind of like I'm being forced to pay for the property that was granted to me, and now that my money is all stuck in this house and I can't sell it, I'm really in an uncomfortable situation. And yes, the city has pretty
I'd like
much
to make a comment. I
put
don't
me
think
there.
you- The problem is you weren't granted the property.
Okay.
There was a re-subdivision. but
I
you
was
weren't granted
told
the property.
that they were going to grant us the property,
It's
and all we
illegal.
had to do was a re-subdivision.
You may have been told that. It's illegal.
Okay, but I was not aware
I'm
of
not-
that.
I'm not gonna
My
dispute
city
what was-
officials
what you were
called me
told,
up and said,
ma'am.
here's the solution. We're going to give you the property, all we have to do is a re-subdivision, and it's done. And then they said, here, it was filed with Jefferson Parish, press on, build the house. And I
The
did.
lady wasn't told that. She
And
was-
now all my money is in this house, and now
you were
I'm told
misled.
I don't own it,
solution
and I
is
can't sell it.
you
So,
You were misled.
It's against state law.
Correct, she was misled.
So the problem is, I think the biggest problem we have right now is a time matter. I believe we could resolve a lot of this stuff. I just don't know the time process. So the only way we could say right now, without going through all of this legal process, the only way I believe, I'm not the attorney or anything else, the only way I believe we could do this legally to cover the city is go with appraised value.
and we have
Other than-
one that's $10 and one that's $8,400. I
Understand.
could get another one tomorrow, and it might be something else.
Yeah, I understand, but I'm saying the reason we have in this situation is because of the time matter. The answer Mr. Ricks came up with could be a better solution for us if it can happen in the time fashion we need it to happen.
The only reason that I'm saying this is for the time. If you can get this permit done, I think you can do it a lot quicker than the sack to sale from the city to you, or, you know what I mean? Because we have a bunch of, obviously, legal bow jargon to deal with if we are trying to sell something that has a right-of-way and, you know, such. So it may be a quick fix, and it may be something that, you know, hey, you understand, you're using the property. If somebody had to come back there and, you know, do some major renovation to, the pipeline or whatever, you still have access. You're having access to use it, for
And it's saying,
eternity.
we keep that property, the city property, that property is 25,000 square feet of property that goes into our floodplain management as green space.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, a
If you
revocable.
sell it to them, it's no
But you're not
longer your
selling
flood
it.
space. No, I understand. What you
No,
want to
wait.
do is a better situation.
25,000 squares?
I'm guessing on
It's
the whole piece.
2,500.
20.
is
No, I'm
what-
saying the whole piece in the back.
It's only,
If you sell one, you have to offer all of them.
No, we
That-
don't have to.
The original survey with that tract of land was done in 1929. And for the last foreseeable, the last 30 years that we can determine where those houses were built, they've all fenced it in, and everybody's cut the grass and used it.
right.
Sheds are on the property. These are not, you're not supposed to put a permanent structure
That's right.
on the property, and they are. Go out there and look in every lot along there.
I agree with you. Exactly right. People have taken the property over the years. They're putting sheds on the backyard.
There's
They've done
fences,
that.
sheds, they've
Right.
used it as their own property
Exactly.
for the last 30 years.
We need to try and remedy this fast. If you can check what Mike Rick said and see if we can do this.
The biggest thing with the title
Huh?
company, they just.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
It probably is complicated.
I'm sorry.
Need clear title to sell the property. Yeah, it's 21 feet 9 inches.
Wait,
And
one
that,
person speaking at a time, please.
sorry, it's 21 feet 9 inches. If the title company has that land as part of that property, we can sell the property.
So you need a transfer of 21.9 feet.
Yes, 21 feet 9 inches.
9 feet. Just sell 9 feet, what they use.
No,
They're
they-
saying they need
No, we need
21.
21
Then they don't-
feet 9 inches. That's
They need a setback.
That's a normal setback per the architect for that lot. He calculated it out with some formula. That's all I know.
I'm gonna ask a question. I don't know the answer. If you sold them to 10 feet, don't hold me to this, because some places I know, they'll allow you to build up to your servitude. So if you sold them 10 feet and you grant them the other 10 feet is 10 feet, 11 feet, then they'd have the 21 feet they need, and you're only selling them 10, you still have access to the other 21 feet, the other 11 feet. I don't know how that would work 100%.
I have a
That's something we need to dig into.
I have a servitude in my backyard of 5
Right.
feet.
We all do.
I
A lot of
believe
people
Tim
do.
has a 10-foot one. That doesn't change. The city has the right to access that for that canal drainage setup.
Well, that's on the other
Some
side of the
locations-
doesn't
Some
change.
locations, they'll let you build up to your servitude.
Well,
So can I
Wait,
make a
how
comment
do we know
here?
that?
the house is built. There's no more building.
In
I'm
addition
saying,
to
if
what,
we grant you the 10 feet and get you the 10 feet of property and then access the other as servitude, you could build up to your servitude and the servitude would count as your 20% backyard. I don't know the answer. I'm just saying that's a way we could try to resolve this. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to help.
I'm not
resolve it as fast
concerned
as
with the
possible.
last part of the lot. All I
sell
need
them
is
10
that
feet.
21 foot 9 inches, however you do
If
it.
you could get 10 feet, and you get the
well,
other
okay.
10 feet as a servitude to where you don't
$10
even have to pay for it, and it's granted access to you, if the title companies accept it, the
I
title
don't
company
intend to
accepts it.
pay for any of it.
Understand?
So
I can't give you 20 feet of property legally without going through this.
I understand that the buyer may make a donation. I can't speak for the buyer in good faith there, but I'm not buying it.
Understand?
So
But I
however
can't
y'all
speak to the
wanna
buyer
work
yet
this
either, because
out.
he's not the buyer, and you want to sell a property. You and the buyer need to come to an agreement to where, if you want to make this resolved quickly, I believe you come up with the 8,400 and it's done. If we want to get another appraisal and see if we can
We have
compromise
another
and get some-
appraisal for $10. The
I'm
first
saying if they come
appraisal,
back-
wait, no.
You want to come up here and talk, you can.
we
I'm
have
saying
the
if you wanna
first
come up-
appraisal of
I'm
$10.
saying if you want to come up with a third appraisal,
We'll get another appraisal.
I'm saying if we come up with a third appraisal, we could see where they meet. I don't think the $10 appraisals.
I have
would
a
be-
couple of comments.
Point
to
of
make
order,
after-
point of order, please.
Yes, I have a couple of
Point
comments.
of order, please.
No, wait.
You the mayor?
I'm asking for a point of order. I can do that as a
What
council
is the,
person.
what is the point of order, sir?
I'm asking that we continue with the,
Shoot your mouth off real quick, you know that?
oh, Lord. I'm asking that we continue the public comment period as we normally do. Let's stop the back and forth, let's hear the public comment, and then we go into council discussion. I can see where this is going, and it's already starting to get out of hand. Let's finish this, and then we'll get into discussion, please.
If the city had given me
Excuse me, one
the-
more second. You got 30 seconds to wrap up, if you don't mind,
If the
please.
city had given me the correct information, we would opted to have renovated the existing house, and we would not have this issue. We would not have put all that money into an addition and be built on their property.
Thank you.
Agree.
Mr. Mauricio.
I'm at 239 West Avenue, so, and what you did with the property, I do like what you did with the property. Just proves the overall neighborhood. But I was just trying to understand everything that's been going on, because I saw this was coming up. Without figuring out the legality is who's gonna be the owner of what she wants to, at the back of the property, wouldn't the variance, getting the variance, clear the title in order for it to,
No.
in order for it to clear the sale? I'm just asking, you know,
No.
if,
It-
I was not on the
Mauricio,
variance
they're
board, I was
built-
on planning and
they're built
zoning,
on
but,
city property. A variance
Right.
doesn't cure that, as you know from your experience on planning and zoning.
right,
A variance is what you can use a property for outside of zoning. The issue here is they're built on the city's property.
oh, I understand that, I was just wondering,
Yeah.
because I wanted to put a carport, and I wanted to get a variance on my property, so I got the variance. So it kind of encroaches onto that 5 foot between me and my neighbor's property, so I was just asking if that would
And
facilitate
Maurice,
something
that's why I'm
faster.
asking if we granted the
Right.
10 feet,
Mhm.
if we gave them or compensated them with the 10 feet, you'd had to put a variance on the property, allowing the other part.
Gotcha,
And that's what I'm saying. That way you only grant them the 10 feet, it's only giving them so many square feet instead of giving them the whole 21 feet.
Gotcha.
That's why I'm asking if maybe if we did the 10 feet, if it sets off with the variance, which would fall into the place
correct.
that you're
Okay.
talking about.
That's kind of
That
what I
way
was
you'd
talking
get closer
about.
to the property line.
Right, exactly, to
Yes.
kind of help facilitate the sale of the property.
That's what I'm trying to,
Yeah.
that's why I'm just putting it out there as an option as well.
Okay, that's all I really had to, but I do like
Thank
what you did with the property, so.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mauricio.
Okay, it's my understanding that when this all started, and this all came up for grabs as far as who owned what.
Can you say your name and address?
Cara Velez, I'm on Elaine. It's my son that's buying the house, and we have money involved in the sale. The first came back with, let's decide how much the property's worth. I'm not gonna name names, but somebody threw out a number of $20,000. How can a small tract of land behind a house that nobody else can use be sold for $20,000? So then we did an appraisal. Appraisal came back, y'all picked them, or somebody picked them, it wasn't us, came back at $10. They said it was unusable, it's worthless, it's no value. Y'all, somebody among this board disagreed, and all of a sudden it comes back at $8,400. So to me personally, it's like, where are we sitting? 20,000, 8,400, 10? It's all over the place. You can get an appraiser, you can get an appraiser, you can get an appraiser, you can get an appraiser. It's not gonna matter. We got approved with my son for this house based on the house, the value of the home, and the property it sits on. Take the property, it's no longer valued the same. They're losing money. It's their money that's in the property, not mine. They built it. And they built it on the good graces of, yes, this is gonna be your property. Speaking to the neighbor to the right, the lady says, oh yeah, they gave this property to the man I bought the house from. He had this property for 30 years. They gave it to him. The city came out and said, it's yours. Everybody has sheds, fences, everything's built in their property. So by giving us just the 10 feet and the house stops and there's a property line, whichever one of you said that, it's ludicrous. Walk out your back door and you're not even, you hit a fence. While the neighbors on either side have all their stuff all the way to the fence that's not their property. Somewhere in the middle of this, there's a solution. I'm gonna tell you right now, the lady to our left, the left of this house, she's not giving y'all a nickel. Guy behind said he didn't want the property. Guy to the left says he's not giving you a nickel either. This is gonna get a lot uglier before it gets better. When the whole thing was based on, we paid for this to be filed with the parish, here's the check, they did, here's the check, everything's on board, we looked at it, we walked the property, we saw it. You look at it now and you go, look, there's that fence. Oh, it sure does cut off this property, but that guy's got his shed on it. That guy's got a permanent structure on it. Clearly, it's an oversight. Therein lies the confusion. It comes from this board, this office, this whoever, not them, not my son, who's trying to buy a house. None of it. The problem was created by somebody within this organization, sitting in this room, on this side. That's where the problem started. I don't want to name names, I don't want to point fingers, I don't even want to assume who it is. But the fact remains, there's somebody that did something wrong. These people are suffering for it. The man's built 3, 4 houses in Harahan, improving Harahan. He's set to build another one. At this rate, I'd take my money and run. It's been very disappointing. This was all granted sometime in January or February. Yeah, go ahead and do it. We found out about it 3 months ago. It's been 90 days, and nobody's been able to resolve this. My son's going to lose grant money. They're losing interest on their money. And Harahan's losing another good property that they would build. And it's a shame.
I'm not going to approve to give away a piece of property that Harahan owns to a resident without going through the legal process. I'm not looking to go to jail.
That's fine. Look, you're not giving away anything. If it was
Agreed.
done, it was done the wrong way. So find a solution. That's y'all's job.
That's what we're
I'm
working
no
on.
realtor
It just might
person.
not happen before the first
Well,
of
it's
the
certainly
year.
not $8,400
It might
when
be
it was
more.
10. I think you're the one that said 20.
I
No,
think
I
I'm
never
the
By
said
your
20.
backyard.
I'm
I
the one
never
that said
said
20.
You? It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I just
It
said a
doesn't
number.
matter.
I said it's worth more than 10.
Move
I
to-
said it could be worth
It's
20.
definitely not worth
Move
more
to
than
close
10.
the public hearing.
Bye.
All right.
Move to close the
All right,
public
we're
hearing.
now closed public hearing. Council discussion.
Who wants to go first?
I'm just
Go
gonna,
ahead.
I'm gonna say this, that, I don't know how this came about, and I'm extremely disappointed to hear this whole thing, but as a council and as a person, I think that this $8,400 and $10 appraisal thing is, like she said, absolutely ludicrous. I
agree.
think that if we made a commitment, that we should stick by the commitment. If it was a mistake, we should absolutely resolve our mistake, even at our cost, because I don't think it's fair to dump this onto the person who was given permission to do something by the city management. I don't think it's fair.
I agree with you 100%, but it's going to go through the legal process before I sit up here and approve it to happen
But,
without the right legal process happening.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is,
But if they wanted to happen before the first of the year, I can't say we can make that happen.
I think we could.
I don't know that answer. I hope we can.
I mean, I don't see, unless we just sit on it, I don't see the reason that we should freaking punish them financially for something that was done here in this office, even if it was wrong.
I agree 100%.
I think that the property should be, if it was $1, who cares? You know what I mean? You're holding up the economy, you're holding up the infrastructure, you're holding up everything. So, I mean, you guys can fight it out all you want, but I personally think this is, from a standpoint of, if it was me, I'd be highly disappointed. I'd have 10 lawyers, but, I'd rather see this resolved amicably. If it was for $1, I'd rather see it resolved. That's all I gotta say.
Council, in regards to this ordinance, specifically 2025-15, I've been working on this for the past 2 months with appraisers, surveyors, property owners, city attorney, council members. And I have a new ordinance that is up for first reading tonight. So as to this specific ordinance, I would ask that it be withdrawn.
I'm sorry, what was that last?
I would
part?
ask that it be withdrawn, this particular ordinance, because the new ordinance would change too much. Withdrawing it, introducing the new ordinance tonight, and scheduling it for our budget hearing like we were intending to do with this anyway on December 11th does not delay the process any more than it was going to be delayed already. I do intend to ask for discussion on the first reading this evening to discuss some of that. So that's what I'm going to say on this ordinance. Other than that, I've got nothing to say. I guess I will also say that I am disappointed as well how this started and is shaken out. And I think as a city, there should be some amenable solution that we provide as a city on behalf to get this done, because the property owners did act in good faith on building an addition to the home.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's all I got to say for now.
And let me add.
And it may be, and at the same time, look, it's got to be a hard, the right answer, I think, is a hard pill for them to swallow and a hard pill for us to swallow as a council. And it's a hard pill for the property owners to swallow. That's what it's going to have to be, unfortunately.
Well, I understand, but at the same time, you know, we make provisions for everything in this town, right? And I think that from the standpoint of, you know, rights and wrongs, I think we need to do everything in our power to resolve this before December 31st.
I agree. I just can't sit here and say that it can happen. I believe it can, but for this to happen immediately and quickly, I mean,
Well,
the faster process would be to go through the process we're going through now. The problem is, there's a dollar value on it, you know? And I don't know how we do it legally without going through a timely process to make it happen that quick.
I think that the dollar value is absolutely absurd. I mean, nobody in this town has been using that property for 30 years is going to come over here and write you a check for $8,400 because you said you can have it. In order to sell that house.
I disagree.
Well, I do. I'm telling you.
I'm not the appraiser, though.
But I'm saying, this is absolutely ludicrous to me because, you know, I had a property on Tudor. I had a fence at 10-foot servitude. You know, I took the fence down, used the property, you know, sold the damn house with the property. This one in particular, you know, we have a property that is built on top of, you know, this public property, but it was, you know, told to these people, you know, that, hey, you're good to go, you're great, they made a big investment, and now we're gonna turn around and try and put the screws to them? I don't think that this is right, and I would say that, you know, like I said, $8,400, I wouldn't pay you $8,400 either. I wouldn't pay you 10 if you told me that. If you told me you were gonna grant me the property, I would expect you to do what you said you were gonna do.
I'm not disagreeing with you. It should have never been told from here. But
Should
for
have
this
never
to
been.
happen in a timely manner,
But
this is
now
the
it's our
process.
job to fix it before they run out of grant money.
Before what, Mike?
Before they run out of grant money on December 31st. The
Agreed.
act of sale, they're holding up these people from moving on and doing another development in Harahan, and they're holding up this young man from his grant money. It's already been held up twice. There's no reason for this. Absolutely no reason.
So before we move on to the proposed ordinance, I'd like to address a couple of things that have been said. The city may have led you to believe, led the developer to believe that he had the authority to give you this property.
Can I just say, they
Go ahead.
they weren't led to believe, they were told.
No, they were led to believe because the city does not have the legal authority to do what they were proposed.
But somebody in the city told them different.
I don't dispute that. I don't dispute that. I wasn't a witness to it, but I'm not disputing. The fact of the matter is, this is not all the city's problem. The developers here have developed properties before. I find it hard to believe that you didn't know or should have known that you have to own property. You have to have title to it before you build on it. And the city is not in the position of giving developers legal opinion. So I don't agree at all with saying that the city caused this problem.
I'm going to disagree with you, Mr. Buddy. If a resident comes in here and questions the city and the building officials and stuff at the city, and they basically go through the process to get the re-subdivision, and the city says, yes, this is what's happening, you would think they relying on the professionals of the city to be confident
But there's
enough
nobody
to
in
make
City
sure it's
Hall,
legit.
Councilman, there's nobody in City Hall that is authorized to give that advice and to imply with legal consequences that a re-subdivision is the same as a title transfer.
City Hall went as far as to file it with the parish.
It's a re-subdivision, it's not a sale. You know, you understand the distinction, it's two different things.
I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I fully understand what you're saying. But
I
if
don't-
I wanted to build a 30,000 square foot warehouse, and I went to Jefferson Parish and walked in the permits office and said, can I build this here? And can this happen? And this, that, and they said, absolutely, Mr. Ricks. And I built it, and then I come back 10 years later and try to sell it, and they said, oh, by the way, you can't sell it now because we were wrong. Who's at fault?
The parish.
Thank you. And the same thing with this city.
I think a buyer's got an obligation to do due diligence.
I think the city has an obligation
It should have
not
been-
to
it should have-
understand the law and make sure that it's followed
Well, I
by.
appreciate your opinion, Mike. We're not gonna agree on this. So I just wanted, my point of view is that you don't build on property you don't own.
If you were
Period.
told you were gonna get the property
But-
by
but-
the city.
But the city
were told they
can't
gave
do
you
it.
the
The city
property.
can't commit to do an illegal act. And
How
the
how
gift
are
of
these
the,
people supposed to know that, buddy?
it doesn't matter. The city can't do it, and the city still can't give it away. And we can't do a usufruct because that's like a lease, and you have to have consideration. It's state law, Mike.
I understand.
It's not me.
But how are these people supposed to know that you're being told a bunch of BS?
Well, listen, I didn't know that until I read the Attorney General's opinion that was
Right.
obtained after this issue came to light. I'm not a real estate.
So what would make them go read the Attorney General's opinion before this came to light?
Sir?
Point.
What was that?
What would make them go try to look
No,
up
no,
and
no,
read
I'm
the
not-
Attorney
I'm not
General's
saying that. I'm
opinion
saying I didn't know
until
these-
the issue came about?
No, no, Councilman,
I mean,
I'm
I
saying,
believe-
I didn't
I
know
believe
the
the
issues.
city- I
Wait a
believe
minute,
the
sir,
city's
hold on.
wrong.
Wait, Eric, let me finish my sentences. I'm almost done. And then you can, I'm happy to hear you. I'm not going to address the Attorney General's opinion again. I will if you ask questions about it. So if this is going to be done with some kind of alternative usufruct agreement or equivalent, I would suggest that concurrently you're talking to the title company at the same time to see what they will accept. Because the sale doesn't go through without the title company blessing. I'm also suggest the possibility that if I look at the appraisal done to finance this property, they probably have a $20 square foot value on the property in question. Saying who would buy it? A landowner that's developing would buy it. Our appraiser, the one that the city engaged, said the property was worth $51,000 and discounted it by 84% to $8,400 because of exigent factors, like nobody will buy it except an adjacent landowner, which is exactly the case here.
I think that is absolutely the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard.
I'm just telling
You're
you what our
land-
appraiser
you're-
said.
You're landlocked. You can't do another thing. You can't go through their yard to get to the back. The only person who's going to the back is on a 10-foot servitude.
Well, we've got a
that is
servitude on
illegal.
each end. I
Are
mean,
you gonna let me finish?
yes, sir.
Okay,
I
so
wasn't
you,
finished. Go ahead.
you cannot access this property outside of the back, public utility. It is absolutely useless to any individual on the planet. They can't buy it. They
You could
can't
put a street
sit-
through there. You could put a walking trail through there.
Okay,
right.
You
Are
could
we
make it
putting a
green
street through
space.
there?
No, but we
Are
could
we
put
putting
a,
a
we
street
could
through
put a
there?
recreational
No, I'm saying-
trail
I'm
for
saying you're
green
losing the
space.
green space. I agree the city's wrong. We need to try to make this right.
Thank you.
I'm
That's
sitting
all
here
I'm
agreeing
saying.
with you on that.
Right, look,
But
And we
there's
need to have a legal
matter we have
mechanism,
to go
a
through.
legal mechanism.
Scott, if
And
we.
one that's acceptable
hold
to
on.
the title company.
Let me ask, so Scott, if we went to court today, you feel confident that the city attorney would win a battle in court over this? Being that they were given an approval to build?
I don't think we ought to discuss that in
Just saying.
open meeting.
I'm saying this is, to me,
I know you
think-
can't sell. I know you can't sell city property for less than appraisal.
Well, you
And
got
we
a
have two
$10
appraisals,
appraisal, and you
one
got
from here, one to
$8,400
here.
appraisal.
So I think there needs to be a third appraisal done.
Look, I was told the man write a check right now. Give him a number. He'll write the check. He'll write the check, but it ain't $8,400.
So the other thing is,
And I think that's absolutely
the Attorney
insane.
General opinion makes reference to cost recovery. The city's got $5,300 in what we've spent on this. So
And what? And how did that?
that's the
Come about?
appraisal and the
Surveys
survey.
and appraisals.
Okay, so we have $5,300, so
of
is that?
cost, that we've cut checks to an appraiser and to a surveyor, total of about 5,300.
I don't think the Attorney General opinion requires you to recover those costs. I think the Attorney General opinion references a question from another city, the city of Karenko, that is asking about recovery of costs, but they don't actually address that issue
Yeah.
in the opinion.
Yeah. But anyway, it's gotta, I mean,
The
my
city
opinion.
screwed up, we need to figure out the fastest way to resolve the problem.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's all I can say.
And look, you know,
Just,
should it cost,
go ahead.
should it cost these people, you know, the sale of their property? Should it cost this young man to lose his grant? Should it cost the city, you know, some kind of, you know, fortitude for, you know, determining this value? I mean, you know, it was done completely incorrectly, but
Mr.
it's,
Ricks, I'm gonna ask you this publicly.
yes.
Do you think granting them the 32 feet of property right there, do you think it brings that property value up?
I don't know, apparently it has some margin of error on the appraisal for the sale.
No,
Because when they were looking at it.
The title company.
When they were looking at it, it was based on the entire property, am I correct? So, and now, come to find out, hey, you don't have the entire property. So yes, it's gonna affect their sale. It's gonna affect.
So it has a dollar value.
It has a dollar value, but it's freaking worthless to anybody else.
So,
And it was done incorrectly. My point is.
It was done
We
incorrect.
need to make it
That's all we can
correct.
try to do is make it right for that point.
so
We
I-
need to make it correct,
it was done incorrectly. We need to make it correct.
yes.
We need to do it in the correct manner.
That's the key.
Because if we don't, in the future, someone complains, some concerned citizen takes the city to court and it gets revoked anyway, and now the property owners are suing each other, the title company and all that.
And you're setting a precedent
Look,
for future.
all I'm saying is, there's no reason, you know, people are so happy today. I mean, listen, you know, you're an attorney, y'all understand, I understand, I deal with them all the time myself, you know. I'm just saying that we need to come to some quick, decisive plan of action, make it happen, and get this done before December 31st.
We all agree.
Agree.
Everyone up here agrees to that.
And that's all I have to say about it.
Okay, do you still want to move to withdraw?
So,
I cannot. Councilman Chatelain, let's
So
do that.
I'm gonna make a motion to withdraw ordinance 2025-15.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion by Councilman Chatelain to withdraw 2025-15. We have a
Second.
second by Councilman Chatelain. All in favor to withdraw?
yay.
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Now, Councilman, you're going to introduce an ordinance from the...
It's on the first reading.
It's
Okay.
up for
okay,
first
okay.
Okay, proposed ordinance number 2025-16. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Ricks and seconded by Councilman, who would like that one?
Second.
I'm gonna
As-bill.
defer this.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 1923 to reduce the setback requirement from 45 feet to 40 feet and to otherwise provide with respect thereto.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Ricks to defer.
Can we have a quick discussion, real quick?
Yes.
Can we, for the
I'd
next
like
pack,
to add some verbiage to this as well.
for the next packet, can we get the original development agreement where the 40 and 45s are listed? So that we can see exactly where we're changing it?
The verbiage that I'd like to put in this setback is that the front of the house is not to exceed its original setback, but there would be a provision for a porch, 5 foot of porch. So the front of the house doesn't precede the next house.
So the living space, would you say?
The living space will be,
So you're granting a uniform variance for those last lots for a porch,
A porch to
A porch.
a
extend,
porch encroachment.
right,
no living.
no living, only because it would set, the line of sight would be off.
So can we just amend and not defer, or do you want to?
No, I still want to see, I still want to leave the.
This is
We
20
definitely wanna see
Are we on
the-
16?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Do we amend
Thank
it,
you.
or do we amend it when we come back
So-
to it?
If he's ready to. I
Mike, I didn't
don't know if he's
follow
got
everything
the,
you
yeah,
said.
let him defer. I don't know he's
You
got
could
the
defer it
verbiage.
and get the verbiage together and we could have it.
I would like
It's
to
not a rush.
defer, we're not in a rush. I mean, look, you know.
He already built it.
They're building 3 houses or 4 houses on there right now. I can't keep up, but, you know.
Okay, so we have a
I'll
motion
second
by
your-
Councilman,
And before we do that, I have some other questions, and pretty brief. Is the intent to do it on all the lots, the newer lots on Colonial? Because that was all covered by 1923.
They're
So we would
almost,
be amending the setback even for houses already built with the setback in place at the time. I mean,
well, all I'm
The first
saying is,
I don't have
13
a
lots are
problem with
already
it.
40.
they will, the first ones were
Setbacks
45.
No, they were 40.
They were 40.
They were 40.
Okay.
On the
and then
first side.
And then at
And then
some
it
point,
converts to
jogged
45.
We
back.
changed it to 45.
Well, at some point, lot 14, we jogged back 5 feet.
When I say the first ones, I'm talking about
Yes.
the beginning by Colonial,
Okay.
the setback's 40.
I
And then at
recall that.
lot 13, it's set back to 45.
But then we did all the rest at 45.
Correct.
And is that 1923 that did that?
It is.
Okay,
that's
so
the
we'd be
amendment.
changing if all of those, whether they have a house built or on lot.
Correct.
Everything covered by, okay, that was my
Correct.
question.
Yeah. And one of the concerns that we've got to think about is that setback was a negotiated setback
correct.
based off of, they took green space away. And so, those citizens across the street wanted that extra 5 feet
Right.
because of the,
I
so,
think those citizens have moved on and moved to other states. So, just saying.
Was that plural?
No, no,
Or
I'm
singular?
talking about past him,
Singular?
so.
So why are you withdrawing it?
He wants to change it
I want to
where
change
it's
the verbiage
non-living.
and I want to look at the development
You're gonna
agreement.
defer, not withdraw.
Deferring it to non-living
I'm
space.
deferring.
You just, so the 5 feet, right now, they can only build 45 feet off the property line.
Correct,
Porch, living space, it doesn't matter, a structure.
correct. But I want to set I want to have the ability to give them 5 feet of porch if they would like.
The problem is the people are building such large houses, they're having problems fitting their houses on their property.
Right.
That's the problem.
I don't want the building structure but if they wanted to build a porch in front of these large houses,
So that would be part of building structure. So you'd be
Just because
talking
the
about
line of sight-
effectively making the setback 35 feet.
Nope,
no.
40 feet.
40 feet.
Well, that's where I'm confused.
It would be 40 feet, but you can't build a living structure within 5 feet of that porch. You can only have a porch that would extend 5 feet. The actual wall at the front of the house would have to set back.
If you want to amend it, I'm and I have
I
further
do want to
questions,
amend
but we
it.
can
Yeah,
talk about it
let's talk about
later.
that next week or next month or whatever.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Ricks to defer. We have a second by Councilman Asbill. All in favor to defer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays, Madam Clerk.
Ordinances for introduction. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain. Proposed ordinance number 2025-17, and ordinance amending ordinance number 2018, the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025 for the capital fund of the City of Harahan, Louisiana for Shannon Lane Area Drainage Study. The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Chatelain. Proposed ordinance number 2025-18, an ordinance adopting the annual budget of revenues and expenditures for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2026 for the City of Harahan, Louisiana. The following,
Do we have a 26 budget ready yet?
It's not.
Next week.
the following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill. Proposed ordinance number 2025-19, an ordinance of the City of Harahan revoking the public dedication of a portion of Bailey Street pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 48701.
Council, real quick discussion on this item. This is a companion ordinance to the next item for 439 West. I think no matter what we do on the sale of the property, we should go ahead and revoke the right-of-way and start taking property back if we don't sell it. So that it's clear that the city owns that property of right, and that it can't be inadvertently donated in the future. And that it's no longer a right-of-way. We're never going to use it as a right-of-way for a street, so let's go ahead and revoke it, and then if we want to start selling it, we can sell it.
You're talking on
To sell it, you have to revoke the right-of-way.
2025-19.
Yes.
Yeah.
To sell it, you have to revoke the right-of-way.
Regardless, we want to revoke the,
I think regardless, you want to revoke.
Sell it, give it
Dedication.
away, whatever you want to do, you got to revoke the dedication.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
To
that
use
is
it
for
public-
introduction. We'll consider it, if you don't mind, on December 11th.
Just to clarify, Councilman Buddy, that's where the complication came in. The records were real poor on what was back there at one time, and then when they went to close, the title agent saw that, hey, there's a dedicated street here. And that's what really kind of threw everything
Well-
into a tailspin.
Mayor, I know it's very complicated, and this isn't a critical comment, but that's why I don't opine on real estate matters. You get title companies involved, you figure out who owns what, and you make sure that you're passing, and everybody owns what they think they own and they have rights.
Well, the truth is,
So
the
I'm
title
not
company
pointing
found
fingers,
it, so
it's just-
that's what they did, they found us, the title company's the one that found it.
Right, because we were all working on assumptions.
Right.
And we're not real estate experts. So, again, without
I mean, yeah.
placing any blame anywhere,
Right.
that's why you have real estate attorneys and title companies.
I just wanted to give you the clarification
I
on how
appreciate
this
that.
kinda
I
got
appreciate
sideways.
that.
Thank you.
So while we're, we're proposing, I want to back up a second, since we're discussing some of the proposed ordinances, which we normally don't do. But if we could back up to 2025-18 for just a moment.
18?
Yeah, yeah.
2026 budget.
We didn't hit 18 yet.
Yeah, the budget.
Well, weren't we just, we were just on 19.
That was the first reading.
Yeah, I know.
First reading.
But 25-19 's first reading also, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, but I have a question here. No, I'm sorry. I withdraw that comment. Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
I got it confused with another ordinance, proposed ordinance.
Sorry, Madam Clerk?
Okay, so now we voted, we don't vote on 19, we just discussed it. All right.
Okay, ready? The following ordinance was proposed by Councilman Asbill, proposed ordinance number 2025-20, an ordinance of the City of Harahan authorizing the sale of certain immovable property formerly compromising an unimproved portion of Bailey Street pursuant to Louisiana Revised Statute 334712 and providing for related matters regarding 439 West Avenue adjacency. Are you all discussing?
Yes, council. In order to start there is a time clock on this ordinance that we've got to start for the advertising, which is a 15-day clock, in order to consider it. In order to fully advertise that, I think we need to fill in the blanks here of what the appraised value is and what the not less than sale price is, so that we can properly be advertised. So if we can just, I don't know how we do this, but if we can just instruct the clerk to, on line 26, to put in the appraised value of $8,400. And the same on line 42 and line 65.
And just to clarify, y'all have a red line version of that.
Yep, yep. So let me get that.
So this is, so let me get this straight. So we're putting these numbers in just for advertisement, but it's not the final decision as to a sale price, is that correct?
Correct.
Here's a distinction, though. So the law requires that it be put out for advertisement 21 days,
15.
15?
Days.
Okay, I'm sure you're right. I've got 21 in my, but say 15 days before we vote on it. And that gives somebody under the law the opportunity
To
to object. So, but in order to do that, it's got to be a complete document.
Right.
It can't have blanks in it. So that, by doing it now, it doesn't mean it gets sold for 8,400.
Correct.
Because the buyer's got to agree to that, but it starts a clock on a transaction. Without putting a number in here, the 15-day clock doesn't start. And there's another 10-day clock by state law that after the ordinance is approved to sell the property under the agreed terms, we can't effectuate it until 10 days after we approve it. The sale can't be consummated until 10 days after it's approved. Again, that's my understanding of the Attorney General's opinion. So you got two clocks we're dealing with, a total of 15 and 10 days, in addition to getting before we sell the property. You got 15 days before the council approves it, completed document, and then you got 10 days after, so we would say we're going to sell the property, but not consummate it until 10 days after the date of approval. That's just built in the law, my understanding of what needs to be done.
Correct. And we could possibly have something else worked out prior to this even going through, but we have to go start this process now.
You're gonna have to start the 15-day process over. Advertising, we'll have to have a special meeting, we'll have to do 15 days of advertising with any amended amount. But if we amend this now to the 8,400, and under the possibility that that's the approved deal at the end of the day, then it would move forward at the special budget meeting. We could approve it. I think we need to amend it saying subject, we got to put something about this 10-day holdover period, that the mayor is not authorized to execute the sale document until 10 days after this. And that gives somebody an opportunity to appeal, file suit. It's the law. So,
Yeah,
anywho.
So if we can get, if the council would just have consensus that we can instruct the clerk to fill in the blanks so they can advertise, I'm comfortable with that for now. Any other terms that we want to change, I think we can. And I think what you're saying, Mr. Buddy, is covered.
Oh, no, I think it is. I just want everybody to understand that that's the time period that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
No matter what we decide on at the special budget meeting, when this is added to the agenda, you still got to wait 10 days after that. And it's got to be advertised before we vote on it, which can start tomorrow.
Right.
So, yeah,
So,
we have consensus on filling in the blanks?
yeah,
All in favor? Yeah.
I'm good with that. I have a couple other
Mr. Johnson?
changes.
Yeah.
Want to vote on? Well, you want to vote one at a time?
There's no vote.
I don't think there's any vote, because it's not,
It's just an
there's no
agreement.
consideration for, but I think we just need to get consensus that we can fill in the blanks to advertise it properly.
So the modified
Yes.
terms would be advertised tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I would ask that we put a provision in here regarding the 10-day sale.
I think it's covered.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'll tell you, I think it's covered under section A, that the mayor is authorized and directed pursuant to that statute to execute. And all the timelines are covered in that statute.
In the statute.
I'm sorry, section 2A.
Yes. Okay, and I think the wording in there does it. I just want everybody to understand that if it passes at a council meeting and it's agreed to by the purchaser, it can't close for 10 days after that date. So just build that into your calendar. All right, two other comments. I would ask that we delete your,
I didn't add that red line. I didn't add that next one, the CEA portion. I'm not adding that.
there's two red lines in the one I'm looking at that Kerry sent out. B, I don't think,
What is B?
on line 78,
You want mine?
I don't think it's necessary. I think it happens by matter of just,
Oh, yeah, I'm not adding that one.
okay, so you're not gonna add,
Advertising section B.
I'm
Okay.
just filling in the blank, right? 84?
Yes.
okay, well, yeah, we're looking at a modified document here as part of what is going forward as a proposed amendment. That's what I understood. So I want to make sure it doesn't go forward with that. Okay.
Blue is not documented.
The other lines 44 to 50, I would like to remove. Doesn't change the substance of the transaction. The majority of it is covered by the law. When you transfer title and property, the new owner has those obligations. So I don't think it's necessary. So we go back basically to your original draft, Councilman, with the filling in the blanks.
I'll tell you, I'm not adding that tonight. I'm not asking for that to be advertised tonight,
Okay,
but I may want to add it when we discuss it in a couple weeks.
okay, just keep in mind that,
I don't think that changes the timeline, Mr. Mayor.
well,
I don't think it does. I don't think that starts it over.
I think if you're giving people 15 days before we vote on it, they need to see what we're going to vote on. That's just how I look at it. It's not an attorney opinion, but certainly, or a legal opinion. But if the purpose of the statute is to give the public 15 days to review it and appeal the decision or protest it, then they need to see the final document. Otherwise, the clock starts over if we make a change.
Yeah, we'll disagree. That's okay.
So it's not going to be in what is advertised.
It's not going to be in what is advertised.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So just to confirm, I'm only advertising
The numbers.
the original
Original document.
document
With the
with the
two blanks filled.
8,400 in it.
Yes,
Fill in the
and I
three
just want,
blanks.
and I just want to make it clear that council has consensus on that. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Beautiful. We're ready to move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Old business, we have no old business. New business number 1, Todd Turnion, Finance Director with monthly financials.
Good evening, Council, Mayor. We're working on the closeout at October 31st, and we are also working on the budget amendments for the budget hearing and for advertisement to the public. So that's what's keeping us busy over the last couple weeks. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Todd, is there any amendments to the budget that you're willing to give us some insight into?
So I think Councilman Asbill has presented some amendments. We're working on the updates for 2025 and proposed budget for 2026 to provide that to you next week.
So is your goal to present a balanced budget?
That's up to the mayor.
Close as we can.
Yeah,
Well, I'm asking the mayor then.
Yeah, we're certainly
Yes, I
trying
got a
to.
couple of ideas that I've been punting around, but we're just trying to get them to the goal, trying to get them into the end zone.
We in the red
Well,
zone.
that's good
Yeah, I'm
news.
in the red zone.
We in the
I'm
red
in the red
zone.
zone.
I'm in the red zone.
I'm happy to hear
10 yards
that.
to go here.
I'm very happy to hear that.
All good?
Whatever,
New business number 2, set the budget hearing for Thursday, December 11th, 2025.
Council, I call that has everybody agreed to this date?
Yes.
Okay.
I had emailed them.
Okay, December 11th at
6:30.
6:30. I'd like to set the agenda as the public hearing for the 2026 budget and proposed ordinances 2025-19 and 2025-20, which are the ordinances dealing with the West property.
And the date, 11th. the
December
11th.
11th, 2025 at 6:30, and I would ask the council to waive notice.
Let me just, I think I've already put that date in my calendar. I just want to check.
I hope so.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
emailed all y'all prior.
Or I got to change my schedule.
I didn't email you.
Yeah. I've got the date. I'm good with that, and I'm fine with
I move to set
what
the
you would
meeting
like
and
to
set
put
the
on
agenda as stated and waive notice.
Second.
Are we voting on this?
Yes.
All right, all in favor?
Yeah.
Yep, 5 yeas, 0 nays. Meeting is set.
New business number 3, the Harahan Police Department is hosting the annual John Doyle Christmas Parade on Saturday, December 13th, 2025. The parade starts at 12 p.m. at Oasis Truck Stop, 6025 Jefferson Highway, and follows the traditional westbound route on Jefferson Highway and disbands after turning onto Folse Avenue by Winn-Dixie. I don't know if y'all need to, I don't think,
I don't think so.
No, I'm just leaving them open. Like,
I don't know. We vote to shut down the streets for St. Rita processions.
All right,
yeah.
all in favor to host the police department John Doyle Christmas Parade?
Shut down whatever streets are
Yeah.
necessary.
Are we
Shut down whatever
hosting
streets
it, or are
necessary.
we approving it, or what are we doing?
The
I
police
guess we're gonna
department is
approve it.
hosting
I guess we're gonna approve it. Yes, sir. All in favor to approve the chief to have the John Doyle Christmas Parade? All in-
Subject to HPD approval.
Yep, so there you go. All in favor?
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk.
New business number 4, low-content ABO application for the Red Wagon located at 6611 Jefferson Highway for Thomas Brown.
Okay, we're open for public hearing. Anyone want to speak on new business number 4? No one coming forward. We'll now close new business number 4. Council discussion?
I have a question, and I may know the answer. We've got a new owner there.
Yes, sir.
I believe the Red Wagon probably had the same license. Is that correct?
I believe so.
So we're just authorizing the new owner, subject to his getting
You
all
have-
the approvals through the
You have
state,
different information?
to have the same thing.
I think he
The owner
wants,
didn't have a low
no,
contact.
he just
He
wants,
had a-
he wants to add,
he
video
wants-
poker machines.
Yeah.
And in order to have
They
video
already have
poker.
it.
They already have it.
That's right. He
That's
did.
what I'm saying, they already have it.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
then
did.
yeah.
He
So it's
did.
basically a new owner, so they
Yes.
got to do
Yeah, it's a new owner, so I think he needs a new
You're right.
one.
So he had beer, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you for the
All in favor?
clarification.
You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam
subject to
Clerk.
the police
Yeah,
chief's
subject
approval,
to-
right?
that's correct.
And
Yes,
subject
sir.
to them accepting
Subject to
electronic
HPD
payments.
approval. Please note for the record. Madam Clerk, new business number 5.
New business number 5, low-content ABO for the Breakfast Club and Greek Cafe located at 8231 Jefferson Highway for Akil Jawi.
Move to approve, subject to police
Okay, we're
department
gonna open for
approval.
public hearing. All in favor? Anyone want to speak on new business number 5? No one coming forth. We'll close new business number 5. Council discussion?
I have
to
a similar
approve.
question. I believe the previous owner has video poker there, had it.
Had it at one time,
So,
yes.
so this is kind of just putting back into place what was, nothing more, nothing less.
That's correct.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Yay.
Yay.
5 yeas, 0 nays. Madam Clerk.
New business number 6, appointment of Marcy Planner as the regulatory magistrate.
Okay, well, anyone want to speak? Public hearing? Public hearing is now closed. Council discussion?
Mr. Marino, if you can just state how we know her, where we're getting it from, just for the record.
She currently is a hearing officer for Jefferson Parish. She was recommended by Mr. Earl Silverstein. He's dealt with her in the past, both prosecuting and also defending his clients. So he nominated her and asked for you guys to approve it. My objective is hopefully by the next meeting to have another list, like where we can add potential substitutes over time, so we have a list where if somebody can't come to a meeting, we don't have to cancel hearing dates after everybody's shown up and
Right.
different folks, so.
Thank you.
And we are going to ask for Steve Pettit to be that substitute.
Yeah. Move to approve Ms. Marcy Planner.
Okay, just, if you got any other options, though, please, John, let us know.
Second.
All right, all in favor, we have a motion by Councilman Asbill to approve, second by Councilman Ricks, all in favor?
Yeah.
Yay.
5 yeas.
Prove what?
Number 6.
Marcy Planner.
Oh,
as
yeah,
magistrate.
yeah.
You know her, Mr. Paul?
Did you know it?
No, I don't, but I have no problem.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay,
Who
Madam
does
Clerk.
know her on the council?
I've never had a code issue, so I'm glad.
I got to go by the word of the
She's
man.
with Jefferson Parish,
No, he's with Jefferson Parish.
Okay.
so she knows the rules,
All right, Madam Clerk,
knows how to enforce
we're
it.
going to address
Chris,
the council.
that's your
Address the council?
suggestion and recommendation?
Anyone like to address the council?
That's your recommendation,
Wait,
correct?
please come forward, name and
Yes, it
address at
is.
the podium,
Yeah,
please.
That's fine.
Good evening, Council, Mayor, ladies and gentlemen. Spike Kiddock, running the Harahan Senior Center. I'd like to take this opportunity to, first of all, thank our gracious God for giving us the opportunity to take care of the seniors and to help the city save money as demonstrated with the budget amendment voted on tonight. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for the confidence and trust that you have placed in me and Sandy and all the wonderful volunteers who run the senior center. My report tonight is all is well, and we ask for your continued support, prayers, and involvement with the Harahan Senior Center. Please join us for our Thanksgiving feast and our Christmas celebration. Your presence means the world to us. Thank you and happy Thanksgiving to all of you and your families.
Can I ask you a question? Did I hear we were charging for lunch over there now?
Speak up, please,
Huh?
Jason.
Did I hear we were charging for
Yes,
lunch over there?
some
now?
days, not every day.
Not, okay.
Okay.
All right. Is there a way the city can?
Go ahead.
Did you want? Is there a way the city can defer those costs so that seniors don't have to pay? Is it a cost issue or is it an accountability issue?
Well, what happens is we're trying to keep track of how many people are going to come every day. Someday we have 40, 50 of them, sometimes we have 10. And we did the same thing a long time ago for our parties and everything, that you put up $2. So they actually the ones that said, well, just tell everybody they got to put up $2. But I mean, like yesterday we didn't charge nothing, today they did.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there still a fee to join the seniors?
No, there's no
Okay.
fees, there's nothing.
Okay.
Doesn't cost anything.
Gotcha.
And
All right, well, I'm good with
for like our Christmas parties and all of that, there's no fees. It was just something we were trying to, if you go any place to get a lunch, 10 to 12 bucks.
Yeah.
Do you know roughly how many people show up for like Thanksgiving, your Thanksgiving dinner?
This Thanksgiving dinner, we'll have 150 people there. But there's no charge.
And you cook that?
Actually, this time I'm not. It's being catered.
Oh, it is being catered.
Yeah, we got people to cater it.
And when is it, Mr. Kiddock?
Do what?
When is the Thanksgiving feast?
It's Sunday at 12 o'clock, this Sunday. And all of y'all invited, like I invite y'all every time.
Every time, yeah.
But the only difference is, if you're going, you gotta let me know, because we have tickets. And raffle tickets, they stapled together, so just, when you get that many people coming in there, it makes it...
You gotta have a count, yeah, it's hard.
It makes it real hard.
Thank you.
What time is that for?
12 o'clock.
12 o'clock Sunday.
You need to get there before 12.
And you need to let them know if you're gonna make it.
Well, I mean, you can come after,
Yeah.
but... Yeah.
Don't expect to eat if you don't tell them.
Well, no, it's not that, because it's being catered, and the Rotary Club's involved in it and everything. They used to do it at the gym, but for some reason or another, they wouldn't let them do it there, so they contacted us. And so instead of
I don't
having...
think anybody contacted us about that.
Well,
That 100% was not, who they contacted?
I was told they did, so I mean, I don't know.
I'm not aware of us telling them no.
And so we can't handle 300 people,
Yeah, that needs to be addressed.
so...
Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Anybody else?
I just want to thank you for what y'all do.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Madam Clerk, close public hearing, Madam Clerk.
Sorry. Secretary's report for October 2025, total revenue $695,479.91. Reports.
Capri's already done. Chief St. Cyr's absent. Councilman Asbill, do you have a report?
You got something else? Excuse me.
If there's anybody that can't afford the $2, they're told they come talk to me, and we take care of it. So it's not like, if somebody just can't afford it, they come. All
Yeah,
right?
we know
Just
that.
wanted to-
Thank you.
I know you knew that, you came in there, but we know.
Councilman Asbill? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
There you go. Councilman Bodie?
Happy Thanksgiving. Be safe. That's it.
Councilman Chatelain?
Happy Thanksgiving. See y'all on December 11th.
Councilman Johnston?
Mayor, a couple of questions. First thing I want to say, when I say things, and if, I'll tell like it is. If I have a problem, I'll tell you I have a problem. If I have a congratulate you, I'll congratulate you. I want to congratulate your regulatory department because they moved that trailer that's been sitting there for a year on a Lexus. It's finally going. So I don't know if it was a coincidence or what, but that trailer's been sitting there for a year on Oak. You and I talked about many, many times.
So
and
the
you
guy
had a
was
warrant out
arrested?
for the arrest for the guy.
The guy was arrested and everything else.
I mean,
That's
that
what it took
trailer's
to get it
gone.
moved.
So I want to congratulate your department for getting rid of the damn thing, because it's been there a long time. So I have noticed some improvements in the city, so
We're working.
Marino's doing a good job on that. There have a few things I still see out there that's having problems.
You know what it's like.
I know that. I know it's the toughest department in the city to run. I know that. I give kudos to where they deserve it, and when I don't like something, I'll tell you.
Thank you.
Now, they have that issue over that, I told Eric about it, I think he reported it, over at 8200 Jefferson Highway, that house that woman's using where she's selling efficiency apartments. She's got a trail in the backyard. I think Eric reported it.
So I never reported about efficiency apartment because you
Well,
just told me that.
I
We
know.
talked about that the other day,
I
but we
told about-
recorded the trailer.
At the
I
trail
know
in the
Mr. Chris is
backyard.
Working on that.
Okay, and the neighbors called me, she's playing music, and somebody's living in the trailer. I don't know if you know that yet. Did you check on that yet?
It's across
And
from.
across from,
Oh, yeah, okay, yes.
yeah.
What's it across from?
I actually took it a step further, and I found her mortgage holder, which was a local finance company, and I reached out through another channels that they say, hey, is this one of your clients? You might want to let them know. We're going to have to cite these people if anybody's living in this trailer. She came in about 3 hours later, and naturally, it's a figment of everybody's imagination, which I don't believe. And I have seen prior listings on the property that shows the house indicates, which is difficult to prove even with photographs.
I agree.
That people are habitating in this house in an unusual manner for a single-family house. That's the nicest, most sugar-coated way I can say it in a public venue. It's that I don't have a way to prove that she's renting out space, although I would love to be able to do it. However, as we had regulatory court last night, and any attorney will tell you, I'm bound by a lot of red tape to protect the citizens from government. The problem is the bad actors out there seem to always slip through at the residents' dismay. And we were, on another note, we were successful in regulatory court last night. We actually got some judgments recorded on property today. We didn't waste any time. As soon as we got the judgments, we had 2 that we recorded today, to where if these people try to sell their property or flip it to somebody else, it'll cause a title problem. That was the quickest thing we could possibly think to do, and it was otherwise a pretty eventful evening last night. But we also got some consent judgments, and we got some people actually complied with what they were supposed to do from their prior court date. Which our attorney, Mr. Silverstein, said that we should take our wins when we can, and he said, out of 7 attempts, you got 5 wins, you're doing better than average, or at least what we were doing before. So, but yes, the house in the 8500 block is on our radar, and we're trying to expeditiously remedy the situation with all legal means we can. But the burden of proof is on the city, and it's not an easy burden, especially when everybody just says, no, we're not, no, we're not.
Last year, I messed up because she had a sign in front of her house, efficiency apartment for rent. I should have taken a picture of the sign. What I did, I came to City Hall and I told Molly, and I told her to go out there, but she had a sign in front of efficiency apartment for rent, and I didn't take a picture. I should have. But she was renting apartments out over there, and that was a mess up on my part. But like I say, if something's wrong, I'll tell you. If something's right, I'll tell you, you're doing a good job. I see improvements in the city.
It's 82.
8200, right across
I
the
think
street.
it's the bluish gray colored
Right across the
house.
street from Papa John's.
It was the one they tried to rezone.
Yeah, several
Yeah,
times.
she tried to rezone.
She asked for an application, and I said, we'll be glad to give you an application, but I can tell you with 99% certainty that it's not going to get approved. And then she said, why not?
Texted that to me.
And okay, I didn't even know she had asked for that previously, because it was before I was here, but.
We might have a picture of that.
Of the efficiency apartment?
we might.
I think I do.
You do? I wish I'd have taken it, I swear.
Chris, could you real quickly go through the 5 wins? And congratulations on them, but what are
Oh.
the 4 or 5 wins?
Mr. Silverstein said they were wins.
Well, I'd like to hear your opinion of.
Well, we had one, I have 3 of them in front of me. The two we recorded, I don't have copies in front of me. We had one at 534 Hickory, which has been a thorn in the side of previous,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
and within the confines of the law, we have him basically on the clock now. That he basically has 30 days to sell the property, remedy it. We recorded a judgment, a consent judgment actually, which is even better than an actual judgment because he agreed to it. He's been stringing the city along for a while. I have a file that's that thick, and I think my part that I originated is this thick of it, and it's only been since July. The eventual course is hopefully he has a buyer for the property who has already made some intention that they want to tear it down and use it for some other use, or at least renovate it. The stipulation we gave him at the last regulatory court in October was that he had a $500 fine plus court costs, which is $112.50 or $112 even, one or the other. And then he had 2 weeks to hire a contractor with a license. Okay, then he had another 60 days, he had 2 weeks to hire a contractor, have that contractor file a permit, then he had 60 days to put a new roof on the house. We didn't mandate anything out of the ordinary, we didn't mandate anything extraordinary. We told them, you don't have to renovate the inside of the house, whatever it looks like inside there is your business, but it has to be to where it's not falling apart anymore. The house is in imminent danger. It's not in imminent danger of collapse. It is collapsing. Anybody can see that. And as the town's building official, I've already told them, you can have all the engineer's reports you want, although they've never produced one, to say that it's not collapsing. I can see that the dormer window is caving in no matter how much paper they put over it. So when the 2 weeks that he had to pay his fine came up, he called and said, now look, I just want to let you know I can't pay my fine. I said, I'm not going to accept that. Okay? You agreed to do this, and now you're not. Unfortunately, I don't like having to be austere with people like this, especially when it's their home, but I don't see any other way to do it. And there has to be a line where this has been going on for over 2 years. It's got to come to some kind of resolution. You need to fix it, or you need to sell it to somebody who's going to fix it, or tear it down, or move on, or whatever. Well, I have 2 offers on the property, he claimed. I said, well, pick one. He said, I'm telling him he's got to sell. I didn't tell him he had to sell his property. But he has to remedy the property, whether he sells it and somebody else remedies it, or he does. Okay, the compelling interest in Harahan is derelict property has to be restored to livable condition. That's it. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be big, it's just got to be livable. Okay, so that's a win. We feel like that's on the clock, and if he doesn't comply, we're going to have to move to tear the house down.
Have we liened the property? You recorded a judgment.
We recorded a consent judgment today, which was granted last night.
I don't know the process. That's probably different than a lien.
Well, I'll let Mr. Silverstein handle it. From
Sure.
start, we're
Okay.
paying the attorney, the prosecutor is handling it from start to finish to where there is no guesswork about whether a qualified attorney handled it from prosecution to close,
Okay.
so to speak.
But I'm hoping that the process includes a lien on the property. Because it'll get paid with the tax bill. Well, it might not make it on the 2025 tax bill, but it will get put on the 2026 tax bill. And if it's not paid, the property will get sold and we'll get our money.
That's correct. But the objective we had to do is because the defendant came in and said that he was entertaining offers on the property, we had to take quick action to make sure there was no, flipping it to a relative or anything like that that could basically moot our entire
Yeah,
case.
start the clock over.
Correct. So
Good move.
that was the biggest one we had. That was the end all be all. There's another one in the issue of 825 Franklin was 825 Franklin that's been going on for 2 years.
Many years.
A slab.
Many years. I know that is too.
Right. Well,
No, that's next door.
I'm sorry.
You said a slab?
825 Franklin is the slab they tore the house down, the slab's still there.
Yeah.
And it's been, the file shows one excuse after the other. That's another one I inherited. I said, something's got to happen here. Something has got to happen here. And I explained to it, and the judge and the prosecutor, everybody, if the city has to take action to do demolition work, okay, we have to go through a lot more expensive process as a city with rules and regulations than if you hire a private contractor to come and haul something off. I mean, exorbitant amounts of money, putting off a public bid. When cities have to do this, it costs a lot more than if you hire a contractor and he charges you $10,000 to do it. Well, the city might have more fees, public bid process, more insurance requirements, and things like that than the average bear would. So that's why, they say government walks with a fork. Unfortunately, it's to comply with all the rules and make sure everything's covered. So he was given 30 days to clear it up, or else the next regulatory court is scheduled for January. If not, then the city's going to take action, and it's going to be liened on his property. The objective is we can't get it on the tax bill. At least it's on the property. If somebody tries to sell it, they can't just flip it to a neighbor or a friend.
Yeah, that's the quick fix. But the other fix is if they put a lien, we'll get our money, and it may take 14, 15 months, but we'll get our money.
Correct.
We'll
But
get reimbursed.
it's the quickest Band-Aid we could think of, not
Yes.
I, but the
No.
attorney could think of to preserve our position.
I think it's very positive action. Thank
Can I
you.
ask a question?
Yes, sir.
If, on the 8250 property, Jefferson Highway, the one that's alleged to be deficiencies, if you have allegations and then you have photos of previous lease signs out front, is that enough to maybe get an inspection for a permit, a warrant for a permit, or warrant for an inspection?
I believe that it is, but I would run it by Mr. Silverstein first to make sure, because
I'll
he's
send
dealt
them
with
to
these
you.
before.
I'll send you the pictures. Yeah. It says studio. Doesn't say efficiency, it says studio.
It says studio. When I saw it, it said efficiency, but you got it, that's good.
Jason, did you send it to Chris also?
Yeah, I will.
Thank you.
Are you good?
I'm good.
All right, Councilman Rick's report.
Wait,
Oh,
I'm not finished.
I'm sorry.
Now he's gonna beat you up.
Yeah. No, that's it.
Sugar, vinegar.
No. I mentioned to him about the House 82. Mayor, I need to ask Scott to do something. The tax bills came out, and we have situations right now with the veterans, the disabled veterans, 100% disabled veterans. We had a proposition passed a few years ago where the veterans are tax exempt on their property. They don't pay mills. They're 100% tax exempt. The veterans are getting the tax exempt from the parish, but they're not getting it from the city. And one of our veterans came here last year and talked to somebody at City Hall, and they told them they're not allowed tax exempt from the city. That's incorrect. They exempt from tax millages from the city, from the parish. They're not exempt just from the parish, they're exempt from the city's millage too. I need you to check and see what the proposition said that was passed by the state, that came out for the whole state.
That was a state deal?
That was a state property, no, it was a state.
Probably be state.
It was state that
Okay.
came out for the veterans, 100% disabled. They're not supposed to pay millages on their property. Now, they do have a $63 and a $15 charge they have to pay, which is garbage and the veteran and $15 for the fire. But they're not supposed to be paying millage. So would you check that and see? I may be wrong, but it was a state millage, it was a state
So it was a
proposition,
complete exemption, your understanding?
100% veterans.
I don't recall it.
100%
Disabled, 100% disabled.
Disabled veterans. They supposed, now, they had a gentleman here that came about 3 years ago. First year I was elected, he lives in Imperial Woods. He grabbed me on the street. He told me he was I think the proposition was 3 years ago when it passed. It might have been 2 years ago. He grabbed me on the street and he told me about it. I said, well, you should be exempt. I said, go to City Hall and talk to him. Well, whoever was here, he saw me about 2 or 3 weeks later. He says, I'm not supposed to pay any mills, so I'm exempt. He never did call me back and tell me he got a tax bill. So I'm assuming he got exempt from the city too. And I had a couple other veterans that, in fact, we just got our property tax bill last week or 2 weeks ago. And I had a veteran call me up, and he says he got paid, he's got to pay the city of Harahan $545 for his taxes. I said, well, you shouldn't be paying millage. You have to pay the $78. That's not exempt. So would you please check that first? Okay.
Certainly, absolutely.
Thank you. That's it. Happy Thanksgiving. That's it.
Councilman Mims?
All I'd like to do is say happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays. Be careful out there and don't get scammed in the meantime.
I just want to say happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Madam Clerk?
Pay bills. Bills paid in October 2025. Total expenditures, $754,908.97. No executive session. Adjourn.
A motion by Councilman Chatelain, second by Councilman Johnson to adjourn. All in favor?
Yay.
Yay. We are adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I'm going to eat.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy anniversary.